You're listening to the Gamecasters.
Natalie, Jeff, and Ryan are the Gamecasters, and they do a board game show, inboxes, and nooks and games, and top 5 lists, and sometimes there's fart jokes.
Well, here we go again, you absolute units, with another installment of the podcast so respected and sought after that one of my employees referred to it as, what's it about again, cereal? Yes, we truly have the staying power and sugary bite of a Cinnamon Toast Crunch with the marshmallowy surprise of a Lucky Charms. But once in a while, we hit your eardrums like a hearty and solid fiber one, and you need a poop knife to get through what comes out the other end. Yes, here at the Gamecasters, we cater to literally everyone. You guys don't like board games anymore? All right, we're flexible.
Okay.
We're a podcast about bass fishing now.
Yep.
The name still works perfectly. What else could we do? How about we're a show that offers dating advice? You got game? Gamecasters? Or maybe we're really obsessed with healing wild animals' broken bones. I was having sex with this girl the other day. You guys don't know her. Right. And in the middle of it, she got really upset. Have you ever wrong-holed it accidentally?
What?
You're in the throes of passion, a little overzealous, and you try a no-hander, just go for it, and whoopsie-daisy, you're in the wrong hole. Well, this got me thinking about different funny ways to talk about a person's genitalia.
Okay.
I thought I had heard them all, but here's a few I hadn't heard of. First, I'll do the guys. Gross.
Okay.
That's not bad. First, I'll have sex with men.
Got it. Yep, that's
all right, now we'll start.
Yeah.
All right, terms for the peen I had never heard before.
Okay.
Custard launcher.
Whoa.
Okay.
You heard that? Disco stick.
The disco stick. That's been around.
And the pink cigar.
Ooh, the pink cigar.
Oh, no.
That's why Natalie, when she gives me a head, she's like, hey, you see?
Yeah, there. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Well.
that's supposed to be puffing.
Yeah, okay.
All right, terms for a BJ I'd never heard before. Interrogating the prisoner.
Okay.
All right, mouth holstering the nightstick. No, mouth holstering the nightstick.
Oh, my God.
You just hold it there.
Put my nightstick
Don't do
away.
anything else. Just
Mouth holster it.
Just
Yeah.
holster it. Just leave it there.
Yeah, so that's just one pump.
Okay, yeah, just one.
Pennilingus.
That's a good one.
That's really funny. Zipper dinner.
Zipper
And earning your keep.
Oh, my God.
Paying
All right,
rent.
Now, terms for the vajay.
Okay.
The penis fly trap.
That's good. And true.
Gotcha.
Beef curtains.
Oh,
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mossy cleft.
Wow.
That's pretty gross. Shave ladies.
Yep.
Vertical smile. I think I've heard that one. Now the terms for going down on a woman.
Okay. All right. Uh-oh.
Box lunch at the Y. Cleaning the fish tank.
Oh, my God.
Eating
Eating what?
eating
Sushi?
That's got where it has to be sushi. It can't be
Super sushi.
eating sushi from the barbershop floor.
Oh, God.
That's gross.
No. I feel like no one would want to do that.
Testing the echo in the love cave. hello. And lickety slit.
That's a good one. Lickety slit's good.
So what's up with you guys?
Man, off to a bang here.
Wow.
Literally.
Bang.
Hello.
Lickety slit.
Do you want some lickety slit
You know,
for
sometimes
dessert?
my
I
God.
talk to people like on Instagram or in the outside world.
Yeah.
And the podcast comes up.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, you could check us out. Go ahead.
And then you think of this.
And then I'm like, oh.
Skip forward
wait.
the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. You don't listen to this around anyone you care about. It is extremely inappropriate.
Oh my
I just have to
gosh.
remind people immediately. They're like, oh, cool, you have a podcast. I'll check it out. Yeah, okay. I'm like, and
Yeah.
put it in your own headphones as quietly as possible around other people. Because
If it's around
you may
children,
be
they will
fired.
grow up to
Yeah.
go to prison.
Remember that one listener who had said his mother-in-law heard parts of it?
Yeah, was that middle class Joe?
Yeah, that was funny.
I think, yeah. He's
Don't
like,
listen to it around
He
mother-in-law.
was like gardening with his mother-in-law, and
Yeah.
we just started talking about minge or something. And he was like,
Anything.
"Oh shit!" Ran over to turn it
Yeah,
off.
this is. You got to be careful. You got to be careful where you listen to the.
Hey,
the
I mean-
Basscasters.
Yep,
We are who
listen
we
at your
are.
own risk.
Listen at your own risk. Exactly. What's up with you guys?
Okay, what should we talk about? TV.
Sure.
Okay, I'm watching a show
Okay.
called Poker Face.
The show is called
Have you-
Poker Face?
I've
Yeah.
heard of it with
Have you heard of this?
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
Who's Natasha Lyonne? Is she hot? Do I like her?
No, you know her.
Yeah, you know her. She's from Russian Doll and from American Pie, and
She's
the redhead.
She was the.
Oh, okay, not
Yeah.
hot, but yes, she
Orange
is.
is the
She's
New
awesome.
Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's an Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Right,
She
right.
is
She's awesome.
Yeah,
in this
she's
show.
great.
So the show's on. It's on Peacock. Okay, another name for
Yep,
a week.
okay.
Which is NBC's their own streaming garbage,
Yeah.
which they
Yeah,
stole
it's
everything from
stupid.
everything, and now it's on
Right.
their own. Whatever, it's bullshit. But Poker Face is very good.
What's it about?
Okay, so Natasha, is it Leone? I call her Leone.
Like Sierra
Is it just-
Leone?
Is it just Natasha Leone?
Wait, is it Sierra
I always
Leone?
thought it was Lion, and then recently
Lion?
Why
How's
don't-
it spelled? Leonne?
Lyonne.
Yeah, LYNNE.
Lyo.
But recently I heard someone say like Leone or something, so I was like,
Maybe
oh,
it's like
I was
that.
wrong about that.
I always thought it was Leone. But
I never
whatever.
heard anyone
Well,
say
we
it.
have.
Natasha.
Okay, continue. Yep, continue.
Yeah.
Natasha has this this skill where she can tell if people are lying.
Okay.
Okay, so she's kind of like this. I don't washed up's not the right word, but she's like has odd jobs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they sort of throw this background story that she used to like play poker and it kind of went south, right? And
Ooh, south. Like
now
cleaning
they
the fish tank?
yeah, like cleaning the fish, like
Lickety split?
yeah, like lickety split. And no, that was in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she kind of works with this casino for a second, and then she ends up on the run. Okay, I don't want to spoil it, but every episode after sort of the first one is like an independent thing that she is a part of. Someone dies. It's almost like it's like episodial a word where like each
Yeah.
episode is its own sort of thing.
Sort of
Right. So there's no like major arc.
So yeah, like right now, like in every episode, someone kind of dies. Okay, something happens,
Kinda.
and she's around, and she sort of is like talking to people, and she can just know if you're lying. She like doesn't know what the truth is, but she knows that you're lying.
Okay.
So as she talks to people, she's like, yeah, "That's a lie."
Oh. Does she call him out? Like, right
Yeah,
now?
like she'll do stuff like that, and then so she is kind of in the mix of sort of figuring out what happened in her own sort of overly goofy kind of character way. Like she plays the same person as Russian Doll in that, in this, and it's good. I like watching it.
she's very captivating.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Like whenever
her.
her character was on screen in like Orange is the New Black, I always was excited about it.
Yeah,
she's
like
like
quick,
really, really good
like,
actress.
She's like quick witted sort of in this show too, and it's fun to watch. But she's not like it's not like she's Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah.
she's like
She doesn't know
she's on the
everything.
run from these people, and she's disgruntled and kind of dirty, and just like this
Weird
person.
premise for a show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
weird.
is weird.
You're gonna be able to tell. Can I tell when everyone's lying what they're saying? No, you'll know sort of that they might not be
Yeah,
telling the
you
truth.
know that they're lying.
Am I
but
going
you
to
don't
figure it
know
out?
what
No,
truth
probably not.
is.
You're not going to know anything else about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I would say watch it if you have Peacock.
But poker.
If you don't have
face.
Peacock, I can't tell you to go get it unless you want to watch all the other awesome NBC shows
Yeah.
that they've stolen out of everything.
Yeah.
I know.
'Cause
Yeah, The
we're
Office is
watching
on there,
Parks
and
and
Parks and Rec's on there.
Rec.
Although I bought those,
Brooklyn
you can
Nine-Nine.
buy them. I bought all those, all three of them. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks
Yeah.
and Rec, and The Office. You can still buy them on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, but then
So
you
I
have to
just
buy
did
them.
that.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but it's
Nothing's
once,
cheap.
Yeah.
and then it's yours. Then you don't got to pay that bullshit anymore.
Yep,
and I'll
that's
watch them
true.
enough that it'll matter.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll actually watch those over and over.
We also have a new merchandise provider or an additional merchandise
Yes,
provider.
we do.
So,
New is
Sir
right.
Meeple, who has been knighted, I guess.
Yeah, he's
he
a sir.
was just Mr. Meeple, and now he's been knighted.
Now
to
he's sir. He didn't
Meeple.
go to Sir College to be called Mister.
Yeah, exactly. So Sir Meeple over on Instagram, SIR Meeple over on Instagram is now running a couple of our merchandise options. So there's some Mad Board Gamer stuff there. There's some Gamecaster stuff there.
And the Mad Board Gamer, the new Mad Board Gamer thing he came up with is so cool.
it's very cool.
Yeah, he
so
is
I got a
so
new
cool.
I got a shirt with that.
You did?
logo on it,
Yeah, I
so
got to
I'm
get one of
excited.
those. That thing looks sweet.
So he's been amazing to sort of work with, and we haven't like gotten rid of all of Redbubble. Redbubble's still there, especially if you want like panties or like a shower curtain or
Right.
Penny
bath mat.
liners.
Yeah, whatever you
And
want.
if you want,
Tampons,
like,
whatever
they,
you
right,
need.
they have some sort of maxi pads. All of the vaginal, all the vaginal things that you want our name on.
Anything to do with your
Yeah,
give me
your let's see, let me give you one. Your mossy cleft.
your mossy cleft
Yeah.
is provided by Redbubble.
Yep.
But Sir Meeple is now providing sweatshirts and t-shirts. I believe
You'll get a nice
that
vertical
they
smile.
are better quality items.
Gotta be.
They're better quality items.
Sure.
Gotta be.
I'm sure.
I think also from everybody I've talked to, like Roberto and Amanda, who also run through Sir Meeple, that the it's going to stay on the shirt longer than some of these Redbubble stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, we're also hoping that between us and Sir Meeple that we sort of develop new I don't want to say new logos, but new designs for shirts that may include like inside jokes.
Basically everything that's on the Janelle quilt.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
I was going to say that on the
So
quilt.
just stuff that we say and do on the show, and he has like this knack for designing and putting cool logos on stuff and doing things. So I'm really excited to see what he sort of comes up with for like a poop knife or crack
Right.
and be tripping.
Or
Like what's he going to
Numberblind.
come up with this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm
Gotta
really
get a Chud
excited.
Munson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A BDNBF.
yeah, man, that'd be so great.
I want BDNBF.
So I'm pumped for where this is sort of going to go.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just our regular logo, my regular logo, and then he designed a new Mad Board Gamer one that has sort
It's
of
so
like the
cool,
Alice in
guys.
Wonderland
It's cool.
thing.
Go get one of those
Yeah.
things.
So the link is like, I don't know, just go to Sir Meeple and it's
Well, I'll also put the link in the show note. In the show notes of this episode, I'll put the link.
Yep,
as
and
well,
then
so you can go there.
It's on my link tree and my Instagram, or you can. It's in Discord. I put it in the Discord.
right. I'll
as
put it
well.
on our link tree too. So we'll get it going.
Yeah, so that's been going on.
Yeah.
We also have my son Jack just got surgery. earlier
Yeah,
this
how'd
week.
that go? He got tubes.
Put in his ears because he
Yeah.
had chronic ear infections. He's had like 7 or 8 in the last year and a half, which is just
Yikes.
insanely
That's
painful
nonsense.
and awful.
So hopefully that takes care of
It
that.
was good.
It's the
They
ear
gave him
equivalent
like
of
this.
strep throat.
They gave him this like loopy medicine to kind of like
To
sort of
fuck him
relax him. Yeah, exactly. And he was just like playing with his truck in the bed. He's playing with his truck, and then all of a sudden he was just like, "Daddy, do this, do this."
Did you get any on camera?
And he's like, "No,
Did you
but
explain
Devin
it?
missed it."
That would have been so funny.
It was funny in the moment, and then he like has to get wheeled away. They come out with like bubbles, and they're like, we peel off one way, he goes to the surgery, the operating room the other way, and it was like done in 6 minutes.
So did he not
7
go
minutes.
under? He just got loopy.
They
like he
knock
didn't
him
care?
out. So they give him
Okay.
they get him loopy so they can steal him basically and take him to the
Yeah.
operating room, and then
Right.
they give
So he
him the
doesn't
gas
freak
and knock him out.
Yeah.
And
They fart
it
in his
was
face.
so fast. Yeah, just like what do you think about that? He's like, he's out.
Oh my god.
Natalie just farts on him.
It was
Right.
fast, and he's done, and now he's got drops for the next week or so. But hopefully, this clears up all the ear infections. Hopefully, it clears up, like helps him be a little less. He's like, I think he gets nauseous in the car a little bit.
Oh, and that's because of his ears.
Yeah, it could be just because fluid's
Equilibrium
sitting there.
stuff.
Yeah. I got tubes
So,
in my ears when
yeah.
I was little.
So I didn't realize what
they
they,
just
do.
fall
Do you know
out,
what
right?
they do?
Yeah, don't they just fall
They
out?
poke a hole in your eardrum.
Oh, they
like a
gotta
tiny
get it.
hole in your
Okay, I don't
eardrum.
know if I can take this.
Oh, you can do it. They poke a little hole in your eardrum and they put a tube in it. Okay, so it causes all the stuff to drain instead of sit there.
Yeah.
And then as the eardrum heals, it pushes the tubes out.
I thought so. The tubes
Yeah.
like fall out,
And then they fall out randomly.
like just like out of your ears.
So your tubes are gone. The tubes you had in your ear are gone.
I know that when I go to the doctor, they always are like, "Oh, I can tell you had tubes. There's scar
Because you have
tissue."
a little scar right
yeah.
there. Yep. So after they poke the hole, when it heals up, it pushes the tube out, and then that takes somewhere between 6 months and a year and a half, and then they just fall out. So
Will you
could
just
find
like
them.
see it? Okay, they'll just be around.
Yeah, Dave's my brother Dave's his kids have had them, and he said he remember he like found one in bed or something, and they're just there.
Gross.
So they'll just like fall out, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But that was we knew everything was gonna be fine, but it's never.
It's still
comforting.
surgery.
Yeah, it's still surgery. They're still knocking
Yeah.
them out and putting them under. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
still a
yeah,
little.
yeah, for
We
sure.
both took the day
Nervous.
off, which was like we had the day off. We had Friday off for a week snow day and whatever. It's like,
Yep.
this is a nice work week. I'm cool with this. 3
you
days.
had today off?
Yeah,
Or-
Yeah.
You did?
yeah, it was dumb.
It was
My
so,
kids had a snow day
I cannot
too.
believe that we had a snow day today.
Yeah. Hey.
A bunch of wusses.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
They are a
Screw
bunch of
it. That's
wusses.
pretty cool.
Natalie, what's going on with you?
Well, I have been playing a video game.
Can you believe
Whoa,
this? All right, you don't know
I
anything about Natalie.
cannot.
All Natalie fucking does is make fun of me for playing
Yep.
video games. Oh, you're playing Spelunky again? Oh, that stupid game. Here we go. Just avoiding the family playing this game.
Is that Natalie talking? I think that Natalie. I can't believe you let Ryan do your voice exactly like that. That's amazing.
You could tell that was.
I could.
You
I
could tell
thought that was Natalie.
If you had your
closed
eyes
my
closed,
eyes.
if you had your eyes closed,
I
you would
actually
know.
closed my eyes. I thought it was
There
Natalie.
he goes again, playing his
Why are
video
you
games,
talking like
neglecting
that?
me. I put my butt in his face, and he doesn't even care. So I was like, you know what? Do you think? I was like, you like Harry Potter? She was like, yes, I do. Okay, so that she was like, yes, I fucking love Harry Potter. It's so much, and I was like, what if? I did the Jeff. I was like, what if you played
What
a video
if-
game?
What if I bought you this?
Yeah, right. What if you just
Yep.
did this? And she was like, initially she was kind of like, eh. And then a couple days later, I don't know what happened.
I
You
know.
can tell me what happened in your mind. But a couple days later, you came back and you were like, all right, fine. You know what? Let's do it.
Well, yeah.
And then let's do it, and then play Harry
She
Potter.
is so.
I haven't ever
now.
really been that into video games. I just get really bored of them easily, and I've actually never even played a game like this ever. Like the only thing I ever got into was like Sonic when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's like a side-scrolling game. This is like an open world,
Right,
3D.
But anyways, you were telling me, you're like, you should play Hogwarts Legacy. And I was just like, I don't know. And I didn't know anything about it. And then actually what got me to want to play it was Ken from Date Night Thrice podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
And how he was talking about there's all these like little like side like puzzles and quests and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I mean, it sounds kind of cool, and I'm actually interested in the theme. You know, usually video games are like,
So when Ryan tells you to
I was
play it.
just gonna fucking say that. I was like, you know what, you're gonna
Big,
love
tall,
this game.
handsome,
and
strong
she's like,
Ken
no, I don't
says-
think so.
yeah, but you didn't
Oh,
play
what?
it.
Ken from Date Night.
No.
Hey, Natalie,
You didn't tell me
check this game
anything
out.
about it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Sure, I guess I'll play that game whenever you want.
You,
Ryan,
you're smart.
in my head, it was just gonna be like any other video game I see people play, just like fighting, which is not. I don't
Right,
care about
and then
that.
Ken liked
Even in like Hogwarts, I don't. The fighting is my like least favorite part, but luckily it's not like a ton of it. Like I'd say it's like, I don't know, 20%.
Whoa, Jeff Marius right now. Jeff, get out. You're going to want to back up about 20
sorry.
feet. Oh, this is going to be
This
dangerous.
is gonna happen. You can stay if you want, but it's happening.
But it is really fun.
Leave the lights on.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love doing all the little quests and puzzles. And I mean, it took me a little while because I don't play video games. So there was a learning curve because like, I don't really know. I didn't know like the
controls.
buttons and how to like do everything. But now that I've been playing
She
it,
keeps calling
for
the
a
analog
while-
stick the toggle.
Oh,
So do I just like move the toggle?
Like, a
I'm like,
toggle
the
is only
what?
always like,
toggle
what are
usually
you
only goes
talking
one or two
about?
ways. One
Yeah,
way.
right. Toggle on,
Toggle's
toggle
a light
off.
switch. Yeah.
Like, a toggle? You mean
So-
the analog stick?
This game is everywhere.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is,
I
all
didn't
I
even
see,
know what the fuck it was.
all
I
I
was
see
like,
is
what is
reels
this?
of
You're like, it's a
people-
legacy game?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, the
Yeah.
legacy board game.
All I
It's a
see is
legacy. You
reels
get
of
to, like,
people
eat half
saying
the
that
game.
their girlfriends love it. They're like, "Oh, my girlfriend
Yeah.
took over my video games."
Yeah, there's all these
Like,
like
it's like a girl
TikToks that you
game.
find. It's happened to Natalie too. She before you came, well, actually, while you were here.
Yeah.
So we had just eaten dinner, and I was like sitting down for my food, and I was like, I'm gonna go play Hogwarts until dinner's ready. And I was like,
I'm gonna go
really?
play Hogwarts.
Here we go. I'm gonna go play. You
See
better
you
not
later,
play
Ryan.
Spelunky while I'm gone, you motherfucker.
Yeah. There are some parts that like I get frustrated with because I'm not a video gamer, so I have a hard time with. So I'm always like, Ryan,
She got toggle better.
Okay, yeah.
Right, do
All
this
let me
for
tell you
me.
one quick story about that. So she's like, last night, she's like, I'm going to play Hogwarts. Will you come down and sit and you be on your phone next to me? And I was like, sure. So I'm on my phone, and I'm just like, I'm just shutting my brain off on my
Scrolling,
phone, scrolling
yeah,
by.
yeah.
All of a sudden, I hear her go, Ryan! And I'm like, what did I do? And I look over, and she's fighting, and she's failing. And she's like, I am clearly struggling, and you're just sitting there on
Oh
your
my
phone. I'm like,
God.
you fucking told me to
You're
come
like,
down
okay,
and
well,
watch
I'll go
you.
upstairs then. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did I do? She's like, you're not even going to help me. And I'm like, I'll help you if you ask me.
Oh
Just
my
ask me to help
God.
you, and I'll help you.
Natalie.
But he was like, Ryan!
Like you were
I
the,
stood in
you
front
were
of
the
the
other
TV.
player.
Yeah.
No, like you were
Yeah, I
on your
was
phone fighting against
versing her.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
fuck you,
Street
fuck you, fuck
Fighter.
you. Yeah, and she's like,
I was getting
God damn it.
frustrated. I wanted you to
Yeah,
help.
with me for some reason.
You did it.
I can't see my hand. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You should have helped me. It's
There
a
was
one-player
another
game.
time- There was another time. I mean, I'm better at it now, but like when I first had to fly on like a broomstick, I had to do this flight test, and I just failed it 7 times in a row. And I was like texting him because he was upstairs. I'm like,
use the power glove.
you need to come down here and do this for me. I have to fail 7 times in a row. I can't do it.
It's
You
just
know.
for me.
You keep knocking me off this broom. You're sitting upstairs on your ass while I'm falling off this broom.
I renamed
What
all the
is-
bad guys Ryan. I'm about to fight Lord Ryan tomorrow.
Lord Ryan.
So that's what's going on with me.
When I came downstairs, all I saw was Ryan sitting at the table, and I was like, I don't know where Natalie is because there's a big pole blocking where you were sitting. And I was like, Natalie, playing a video game?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
You're like, what dimension is
Yeah,
this?
where am I?
What year is this?
It's fun.
So you guys, Lexi was just recently, well, I say you guys, Natalie knows. So Lexi was just recently Little Anna in our community
right.
theater production of
Yes.
Frozen Jr. It was so cute
so good.
watching her because she was like the star of the show.
Right, especially
Right?
at the beginning. Like she's the whole beginning.
She's the
Yeah.
entire beginning. She
Yeah.
has the first
She
line of the
sings by
entire
herself.
movie. She
Sings
sings a song
the
by herself.
Snowman. Yep,
Yep.
that's her song.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking bum rush the stage and tackle her to the ground and kiss her like, oh my God, you're so great. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
did you like stay quiet through this thing?
Oh my
I was
gosh.
sobbing.
Ryan was like
a
crying
fucking
the whole
baby.
time.
Well, I usually you're like a yeller. Like
Oh
a
yeah,
kid in baseball games, you're
The-
yelling.
Oh my God!
So
The
I was-
second she stopped,
When people
I'm like,
clap.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
happening like crazy. But something happened during one of the shows
So
that was
funny.
really funny that I want to tell everybody. So, like I said, Lexi was little Anna, which if you've seen the movie Frozen, you know that she has a big, maybe the biggest part at the very beginning of the movie only. And then Anna and Elsa grow up. And then the rest of the movie is Anna and Elsa as grown-ups. So Lexi was little Anna, and then she grew up into, big Anna. And
Big
then
Anna.
Lexi's now in the ensemble
Large
for the rest
Anna.
of the play. Exactly. So there's this one part where grown-up Anna and Elsa were on stage alone together, and I can't remember exactly what was happening, but it was like this really quiet, tender moment between the two of them when all of a sudden someone's phone goes off, and the ringtone was "Let's Get It On." So there's these two high school girls on
Like with
stage
words?
having this
Yeah,
close
it was like,
moment.
"I've been
All of a sudden you hear
feeling
bow, 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 bow.
Oh my
I've
God.
been really trying, and everyone just starts.
Everybody around us is just
We're
like,
oh
snickering
my God. And so the person's like,
for like
shit.
5 minutes.
Who's calling
It was
him?
the funniest thing. It was so fucking funny because the entire theater was
Yeah.
like dead silent,
Right.
and all of a sudden you hear, bow, 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 bow.
And like this theater,
Two high
it's like
school girls.
children.
What
It's
did the
like
girl- what
age
did-
like 6 to like 18.
Yeah,
that
they were.
are,
I
like,
think they were
in
both
this-
like 17, so it was close.
Well, I just mean like
yeah, yeah.
I just mean like it's like a kids show.
Right, it's a little kid.
Yeah, it's Frozen.
I've been really trying, baby.
What did the girls on stage? They just kept
They
going.
didn't react. They were very, very
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was in the front row, so they fucking heard.
It was
They definitely heard it.
So funny.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
And we just kept
That's really
laughing
funny.
throughout the rest of the show because we kept
Oh, that's
thinking
all I
of
could think
it.
about. That.
Yeah.
That's all. Luckily, it didn't happen when during Lexi's part, or I probably would have been angry.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Yo, goddamn
someone.
motherfucker. Oh, I was so proud of her for being
Yeah, that's very cool.
on stage in the
Yeah.
the main role. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
She
that's
did
cool for her.
great.
She's like, and for her, like, she has a little bit of like social anxiety, a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
going to
totally.
school,
Oh,
right?
she was
for her to
terrified.
just
so
jump up on stage
nervous.
and do that's like,
She was
cool,
like,
that'll help just with so many things.
agree.
Yeah.
She was crying with nerves before the opening show.
Yeah.
And then she did
But she was great.
incredibly,
Yeah.
and then she was fine.
Yeah,
So like you said, yeah, it was good. It was good for her to get that kind of thing out of the way.
that's cool.
So there's a rumor going around
Oh,
that this is a board game podcast.
Ooh.
I don't believe it.
bold.
But if you want to
board
bolster
game or
that
bullshit?
rumor, have you been playing any board games recently?
Yes. So we have been this. I feel like we haven't seen each other, done a show in like
It's been like
ages.
months
It's been
and
like
months.
a month.
So we lost
has
power
been
a
like a
couple
month.
weeks ago. We had like a bad snowstorm come through here, and it knocked a shitload of people's power
And it was
out
like
in
an ice
Michigan.
storm.
Jeff and
Was it the
I
ice one?
are far enough away that typically we don't both lose power at the same time.
Right.
This storm was so bad, everyone
I think
lost power.
600,000 or 700,000 people.
Yeah.
They like
Yeah.
declared it this emergency where
They had other people from other states.
yeah, workers from other states came in here. So that's really what knocked us out a couple weeks ago from recording. And it was just like, hey, can we do it Friday? And it was like, no,
Yeah,
we
we
just
just-
power. And
it
we
was
just
crazy.
got power back, and it was
Well,
just
we
it
had
was
just gotten power
miserable.
back, but you guys still didn't have power,
Ugh.
and then you got power back late in the
Yeah,
late
it
in the
was, like,
weekend,
late,
and yeah, so
It
that's why
sucked.
we didn't do it then.
But I have been playing some games, which has been cool.
I would
did
love to hear
play-
one.
So what you did release last 2 weeks ago was an interview with Matt,
Right.
about
Yes.
Kyperium. So I did play Kyperium with him on that thing. What's the thing?
Yeah,
TTS.
Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, so
That's
I played
right.
it on there, which is cool.
That's cool.
Also backed it, and I just saw today that he has reached all of his stretch goals.
All the
that he
stretch
plans
goals.
on doing,
Wow,
which is really
that's
cool. Which are
awesome.
new like pieces, I think, new player pieces and things like that. Because it's a smaller, these smaller publishers aren't doing these massive stretch goals where it's like, hey, all of a sudden now we have even player mats even or stuff like that where it's like you're not going to do that. But that's so cool that he's gotten to the point where it funded so quickly and then is now reaching some stretch goals.
Yeah, they
I liked the
funded
game.
it in
It
the
was fun.
first hour and a half. Yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear some
I
thoughts.
liked it. It was fun. I didn't think
It was good.
I didn't mind.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
mind the take that because I know that was one thing that came up with
Yep.
the two of you playing and
For
people
sure.
playing at Nerdfest. Were just like it's some take that and back and forth, and you could definitely get like just beat up back and forth, but you're also doing it to the
Yeah,
other
you're
player.
beating them up
Yeah.
too.
It's not a single like when you play like a game like Red Rising or you play some of these other area control games where you could get screwed like a whole bunch of times in a row. At least if someone like messes up your plan. It's your turn next to then make a move and to go at it. And a lot of times it's like your worker's not there. It almost delays you more than like screws you up completely.
Absolutely.
So I like that they found a balance there of like, yes, this is a take that game for sure, but it's not like a take that game and you're fucked forever type of game.
Plus, it's quick enough. The game is not so long. You're not playing this game for 2 hours that you're not going to be like, well, I'm just out.
My entire plans
and now
are
I'm
ruined.
Fucked.
Yeah, and you don't have an hour of strategy that gets ruined all of a sudden. It's usually like 2 or 3 turns
throughout.
Got delayed 2 or 3 turns. And I thought it was really good. Like to just I don't know if this is his. He says he has a whole bunch of other games kind of like in his brain or has like little things, but to come out here and to be successful like this and to put out a game like this, it's great. Like
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
It's awesome
with this.
So
especially knowing Matt, who's God, the guy's the worst.
Like
somebody that really shitty can put out a game like this.
Really dumb.
Yeah.
So this other guy,
co-designer, must be incredible.
Incredible.
Because I've had conversations with Matt where I'm like, are your eyes open? You're like, what is wrong with you? There's 11 days to go on the Kyperium Kickstarter still.
Yep.
If you want to get involved with that, it's kickstarter.com/projects/whitewatercastle/Kyperium !ref !user_menu.
Okay. Oh, the menu underscore. Okay, good.
So head on over there.
Head on over there.
Back Kyperium.
Yeah.
And you'll hear Matt go, duh, every time a new.
Poor Matt.
I know. What are we doing?
Oh, man.
He's so
I also
nice.
think it was cool that we were the first ones to like we saw his game in person before he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Which is cool.
I remember that.
So,
That's
I
awesome.
backed it. I'm ready for... I'm excited to see what people name all the robots,
yeah, me too.
which is kind of funny.
Me too.
I was like, how inappropriate... Like, you just put it out to a whole bunch of Gamecasters listeners. You're
fucked, buddy.
I don't know how all your robots are not going to be named boobs and dicks.
Yeah.
Like, dick
Sir
spot,
Poopiest
boob.
Knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
So,
some of the names Ryan read in the banter.
yeah.
He's gonna have a vertical smile when he reads all these names.
Slickety Slit is going to be
Lickety-
the robot.
Lickety Slit, not the clue.
That one might be the best
Great.
one.
That is
might be the
really
best
good.
one.
All right, so what have you been playing?
Okay. I got a board game in our Gamecasters Secret Santa exchange. Do you remember doing that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I might have hit the jackpot.
I got spoiled. Okay.
Joe went nuts.
Joe, at Board to Play, I don't know what I can give him that will be, because he lives in Canada, and
I know you can give
shipping things to him is difficult.
I know what you can give him.
Okay.
Jeff, you can give him Pennilingus.
Okay, I can give him.
You can give him a zipper dinner.
Yeah, if you show up to Nerdfest next year, I'll give you a zipper dinner.
He'll mouth holster your
I think the
nightstick.
dinner
Just for a little
is
bit. I'm not
for
going
Jeff.
back and forth. I'm just going to holster it
This is one
for a little
holster.
while. Okay? We'll set a timer.
It's up to you to get off.
Yeah, we'll set a timer, and I'll just holster it for a little while.
What is Jeff doing? Oh, he's just mouth holstering
Yeah, he's
Joe's
just holster,
nightstick.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's just normal.
Yeah. So I hit the jackpot with Joe as my Secret Santa.
Yeah, you got lucky, man. That was great.
I got Endless Winter and a bunch of other stuff. I got an amazing insert for Underwater Cities. Praga Kaput Regni I got an insert for. It's like, I was like, this is the greatest.
He went crazy.
Because I was thinking when we did this exchange, I was like, I don't know if I need board games right now.
Yeah.
So what else can I do? And I
Yeah.
put at the top of my list those inserts. I'm like, cool, I'll get some inserts.
Yep, that's all I
Perfect.
need. Great.
And then he sent me Endless Winter because that was like kind of down. Like, this is amazing.
It's like the hottest game there is
I
right
know.
now.
And I always kind of like, I wanted it. I was disappointed when I didn't back it. So I'm glad that it came to retail because sometimes you get screwed if things don't go to retail and it's a smaller. But this game blew the fuck up. It was everywhere.
Right.
The art is cool. Presentation's amazing. The Miko did the art. You just look at it
I
and you're
didn't know
like,
that. Okay.
you want to play this game.
Yeah.
And thankfully I did.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Fantasia Games. Have you ever heard of them?
Nope.
Neither. They do this one, and then they also have this game. I don't know if it's on Kickstarter yet, called Unconscious Mind, which
I've heard of
looks
that.
really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
that
on
sounds
Kickstarter
familiar.
How have I
soon
heard
or
of
it
that?
was.
Okay.
I think because Endless Winter has come up in our Discord a little bit, and I
Yeah,
think
people are talking about it there,
Unconscious
Oh,
Mind
maybe.
Yeah, and this has been people have been talking about this in our Discord like nonstop. People keep slowly playing it. And
Everybody's-
Taz
yes.
always like, "This is my favorite game ever."
Right.
Swoozle's like, "This is amazing."
Isn't it on
Everyone
Taz
fucking loves this game.
list?
Yeah, it's like
his Pub Meeple?
yeah, so he was pumped that I was playing it. There's a couple big names. They're not nobodies in designing. Stan Kordonsky.
Okay.
Dice Hospital, Rurik, and the Locked Up role player game.
Okay, those are some
Names.
pretty big, heavy
And then
hitters.
Johnny Pack, who's a name.
Johnny Pack.
Coloma, Lions of Lydia, Sierra West, Merchant's Cove,
Unconscious Mind.
Unconscious Mind. Yep. And then Conscious Mind.
Oh,
After the
and Conscious Mind. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
Now he's
sequel.
conscious.
It's a sequel
He
to
woke
this
up.
one. So this is a weird setting, 10,000 BCE, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cavemen. Okay.
Yeah, before cunnilingus.
Yeah, it's not trading in the Mediterranean. So
People didn't know how to
I'm
do
cool with
cunnilingus
that.
in BC.
They just did pennilingus.
It was just pennilingus
Just
back then.
pennilingus. Yeah, they were like, what do we do with this? I'm like, well, let's try to put it here.
AD is after the dick.
Yep. After
Oh my god.
before cunnilingus era. That's what we got. BC
Before
before
cunt.
cunnilingus era.
Oh,
Oh my
Come on, Natalie. Oh, that's the joke. Before cunnilingus.
Natalie's like, the joke was already there. Let's
like-
make it worse.
Yeah,
Let's make it like
kill it.
Let's make it like so dirty. It's already pretty dirty. Let's make it so much dirtier. It was better. You did it, honey. I should have said
Yeah.
it before.
Sorry.
Shouldn't you be drinking?
Yeah, I know.
I'll be right back.
Basically,
all right.
we'll be right back.
So we'll be right back. All right. Endless Winter combines a bunch of mechanisms, which recently I've really liked in games. Worker placement, deck building, and this says area majority are kind of the three, if I would say. These are the mechanisms in the game. Those three. Worker placement, deck building, area majority. Players are trying to lead the most prosperous tribal society. Okay? A few different areas. This is a table hog of a game. There is the main board. There is a megalith tile, which megaliths are-
Megalith?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like
Like a monolith?
it's like a monolith.
Okay.
There's like three different tiles, and you're basically putting these square pieces on top of these tiles, and sometimes they're on top of those, and they sort of make like a monolith. But I don't know what the difference between a megalith and a monolith is,
weird.
but they call it a megalith.
Okay.
There's a track board, which again is a separate board. There are some hexes that you sort of create. Of course, it's like Catan. Right?
It's Catan. It's got hexes.
It's
Catan.
exactly it. And, Ryan, dynamic dual layer player boards.
Shut the fuck up.
Boom.
You know what's
Just buy the
funny?
game.
But you know what? I was just
Shut
thinking
it
about
down.
those. I was just thinking about those. If you can have dual layered player boards, I think you
God.
should.
You're right. I've never thought about it until right now.
Yeah.
If you can make those, you should.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you make dual layer player boards?
Are you listening, Sir Meeple?
You make some dual layer player boards.
should probably have
dual
those.
layered shirts. And then you peel them. That'd be so weird.
I wish you could see my face. This
Yeah.
is like, what?
Dual layered player
layered
boards.
shirts. Okay, that's amazing.
They're amazing. Okay. On your turn, you choose a space. There's like 4 action spaces. It's not super complicated.
Okay.
Get some cards. You can take some building stones that help you score during the game.
the stones.
You can place and move tents around the camp, which is the hex stuff. You can get animal cards, which has some set collecting in it. Each action space you take has 2 or 3 things that you can do when you place a worker.
Okay.
Every action that you want to do is going to cost you resources, which are just kept track on your board. You kind of move cubes back and forth.
Okay.
And then also cost you cards.
This is sounding like Lost Ruins of Arnak to me.
Yes. That's what it gave me the feelings of.
Yeah. Do an Imperium
Which means that
good.
you might understand why I might like this
okay.
game. You're coming pretty soon.
Okay.
So the cards are multi-use, which is cool because you have to you can play them for the action, you can play them on when you place your worker. So you have to weigh cards very heavily in which way you want to do it. Okay. When everybody takes their 3 actions, there's a thing called an eclipse phase, and during the eclipse phase, and this is going to sound like Dune, you use your leftover cards or any cards you want to use at the end as camp and tent control stuff, bonuses, actions, things like that.
Yeah.
So cards have a strength on them, will essentially help the action that you put it on, or it has an eclipse icon on it, which gives you an action during the eclipse phase.
Damn.
Kind of like Dune Imperium,
That
right?
does sound
Where
like
you
Dune
say, all right,
Imperium.
I want to keep
Yep,
this one
I'm going
because
to
I
keep that
get
because
more.
I'm going to use it for this. Yeah.
So, cool.
All right,
That's the
starting off
elevator
good.
pitch of the game. 4 rounds, most points wins, obviously. All right. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it gave me, I even wrote on here, Arnak, Dune Imperium kind of vibes, which are games that I just really, really like. So much of what I liked about this game were the card play and this multi-use cards, which I think is what I like about
Everything.
all the
All
time.
the other games.
All at once.
All at once. Ooh, that's coming up too.
Like, Dune Imperium there's parts of Dune Imperium where I'm like, okay, the combat is something I don't love, or that's not the reason I like Dune Imperium. I like, I got triangle, I got a purple, a green, and a yellow card. Where can I go and what can I do with these cards? But also I need to keep cards for the end, right? I need to keep cards for the fight to add to that. I need that. And it was so juicy and tough and also like rewarding to make those decisions of like, I want to play this card now, because there's an action space that lets you get cards immediately into your hand. So you can buy cards that go immediately into your hand that you could use later that turn.
Nice.
It's just
So you're not really deck building that card. You can just grab it.
right. You can
just
grab
have it.
that one. Yeah, but there's also ones that are different actions that let you put it in like in your discard pile, like a normal deck builder.
Okay.
So you want all the actions on these cards. You want to be able to use them as strength for your action, but you want to keep them for that eclipse phase. There is a good amount I don't want to say like perfect amount. There's a good amount of like forward planning that makes these decisions like feel good when you make them, or also feel like, damn, I could have done that better, which I like in games. I like having that moment where you do something and then like 2 minutes later you're like, ooh, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like I'm not playing a regular deck builder like Dominion or Ascension where the cards kind of like play themselves. Like I kind of like, you just kind of put your cards out there in some deck builders and you're like, this is
here's what I got. Here's
do.
what I'm going to do with it.
And this has this has a really good balance of what do I do with those cards. Awesome. I liked it.
Okay.
There's opportunities for like creative, and I initially had like combo turns, but they're not combo turns. They're almost like cascading
Will and Grace turns.
and like Will and Grace turns. Yeah. Like your favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you put your worker on one of the action spaces, the first thing you can do, it'll say like buy a card. And you can do that action as many times as you want, as long as you're paying the cards for it and you're paying the strength for it. And then the next thing, once you're done with that, you say, all right, I'm going to move down. And you move down to like the next action on the same turn. And you can do that action once. And then if you're the first person on the spot, you get a little bonus action. And you always want to be able to do all of those.
Yeah.
And that cascading effect feels really cool when you can execute all that. But there are times where you just don't have the cards to do everything in there. So you're like, all right, I got to go there, skip that action, which feels like, damn, I skipped it.
Yeah.
But you just have to do it sometimes. And it's good because I want to be able to set up the perfect turns, which I'm assuming the more you play it, you'll be able to like kind of set up those more perfect turns over and over again, which feel just like really, really rewarding. There is depth, I think, that I haven't seen in the game yet, which I'm just excited to keep playing it and doing so. Like I've seen some scores. Sometimes I like to go see what people have scored.
Yeah,
on board
I do
games.
that
So
a
I'll
lot.
go there
I
and
do
be
that
like,
a lot.
what's some scores?
Yeah, how did I do?
We were like around the 100, and Dave won by a bunch. He crossed over the 100, but I've seen people score like the upper hundreds or like touch 200. I'm like, damn, what are they doing?
Yeah, that
I didn't do, and that makes me feel good. Sometimes I play a game, I'm like, I scored 85, and I go and people are like, I scored 60 on my first play. I'm like, I'm better than you.
Yeah,
but can I just do that every time
now
and
what?
not see
Right,
it?
now where do you
Yeah.
go?
So I'm excited to sort of see where this goes. The area majority is not a punishing thing, which I think would bring you guys into the game a lot more.
Yeah.
So how that works is it's area majority on your turn. So like Ryan would play the Eclipse phase, his entire Eclipse phase himself, and on some of these cards it lets him like add presence or move presence around. So on his turn he could move a tent from one spot to the other and have presence in that hex, which gets him a little bonus or an action. And then on Natalie's turn, she's playing her Eclipse phase, which then could allow her to move a tent in that same spot, tie for presence. She then takes the things also.
Okay.
So it's not like a snapshot.
And you don't just take someone. You don't take it away from someone. You could either get it.
You could, like if Natalie had it and you went in there and took it, you would get it first, but then Natalie would have an opportunity.
She'd be able to go back and do it.
She could.
Okay.
What it would do is it would like force her hand to go there if she wanted it.
Okay.
Instead of like this snapshot moment where like Natalie went last in the turn and took all the spots that Ryan wanted. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen because he'll get a chance in the Eclipse phase to move things around and make adjustments, which I liked. It didn't feel overly competitive, but it did have an interaction of like, all right, I'm going to go there to force Joe or Dave to move his piece there. So now they're getting this one instead of that one, or instead of both. And I kind of like, I liked that. It didn't feel mean. It felt strategic in a majority. Because again, this is majority, not
control. Yeah.
The art, production, quality of this game is well beyond the $50 that you're going to spend on this game. The base game is $50, and it's packed with stuff. Like there's like these little chief minis that give you a bonus action, which is great. I love that you get a little like kind of player power almost. It's not a huge power, but it's something. So you get these minis. The tiles are nice and thick. The card quality is good. The instructions were really easy to follow. Like,
Oh, that's good.
I have spent a lot more money on shittier productions and shittier quality. I'm talking to you, Rio Grande. Anything you fucking put out is garbage. And I like looked at this. I'm like, this could be a $75 game easily.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the Kickstarter went for, but I just have like just the base game. I'm sure with
Okay, so you don't have the expansion. I have a bunch of questions to ask you once you're
left. I don't have any expansions left, or yet. I want them, but I was shocked at what the value of this game. It's way beyond that. I'd say a couple downsides if you're thinking about it. The game will slow down at like 4 players. So we played with 3, and it took 2+. with
There's
three
one
of
my
us,
questions.
which wasn't bad,
2
but
plus. That's
they're
not bad.
like the turns can be a little long because you're thinking about, all right, I need to go here. I do this many times. I'm moving down. I'm doing this one time, and then I'm doing the bottom action. So you're doing multiple actions on the same turn. So there is a little bit
So
of
there's some
like
downtime.
AP and like I need to think about what my cards are doing because multi-use cards, you have to think about every card in your hand all the time, and that can slow it down. And I've read a lot about people playing with 4 who's like, it can be a drag if you're not moving or
Yeah.
people are just locked up or stuck. The only complaint I've heard with 2, which wouldn't bother me at all, is that area majority is not as interactive because the map,
like,
the
don't
area
get in each other's
majority
way.
doesn't shrink. You don't get in each other's
Yeah.
way as much, which that
wouldn't
totally
bother
would
us.
not bother the two of
That
you.
happens
Would
all the
not-
time
at all.
when we play
Yeah,
games
would not
like that,
bother
yeah.
Devin and I because the hex map thing that you make doesn't shrink.
Yeah.
It stays the same size, so like literally you could stay on one side and you could stay on the other side.
Right.
Right.
Especially
and then
if
I
they're
guess
sort of equal.
you
I
lose
feel like
something in the
most
game.
games-
People
Sure.
would say,
Right. So
Play
people are
that
like,
like
okay.
that.
yeah, we play Terra Mystica with 2 and it's fine.
Yeah.
So
Or even
I
like
think-
Rolling Heights, like that would kind of just stay
Yep.
apart.
Yeah.
Didn't really.
3 is a good number. I thought I would play it with Devin at 2, and I think it would be just fine. But those would be the complaints I think from
Sure.
from
Yeah,
people.
right.
Overall, this is one of my newer favorite games.
Damn.
I can't wait to get it to the table again.
Damn, bro.
Joe really liked it. Dave really liked it, and Dave kicked our ass. So he's like,
Yeah,
I
that
hate to
cements
give
it.
I hate to give my opinion of games after I win. But he's
but
like,
you know
I really
what?
liked it. I'm like,
I
that's
think
okay.
that's
In the moment,
valid.
I knew it.
I think that's valid. I think it's okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it is okay to enjoy a game more because you won it. I think that's
think
okay.
it's
I think
okay,
it's
too.
just important to be mindful of, is that the only reason?
Right,
that
but was
Right.
I having fun
you
while
should
playing
think
it
more
before
about
I
it that way.
won?
But I think it's totally
He
valid.
was
to be like,
visibly
"God, that was
enjoying
great."
himself
Yeah.
during the game.
Yeah.
He had like a
Yeah.
awesome even first turn, and I was
Yeah.
like, got Dave.
Yep.
Well, I feel like,
Yeah.
like especially us and like Dave and Joe and stuff. Like you play enough games where like
Yeah, you know.
you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, it's not like you haven't played.
He
very
probably
much
said
in-
that more so you guys weren't like, well, of course you fucking
Yeah,
like
of
it.
course.
Yeah, right.
One.
You know.
Yeah.
So can I ask you some
Yeah,
questions, or
yes.
do you if you have more, go
Please
ahead.
do. No, I don't.
So okay, it sounds a lot like the Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium, which are 2 games that are those are the fucking greatest. I mean,
I know.
Lost Ruins of Arnak, they could both be
Those are
essentials
like
for
top,
fuck's
that
sake,
big top
right?
25.
Dune
games for
Imperium
me.
is like way up in like is it in the
Yeah.
top 10? It's like real
I know,
high up
both
there.
things are flying up.
And Arnak is an essential, and we love those games. Now, I have both of them. Do I need Endless Winter? Does it do enough different that I would pick it over one of these other 2? Because Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium are incredible games.
Yeah. So
Dune is
in terms
12,
of
by the
without-
way.
12. Okay, that's still high.
Arnak without, so if I just went base game Arnak and base Endless Winter, I think that you might not need them both.
Okay.
When you throw in the expansion for Arnak with the player powers, the new boards, that elevates that game a lot, I think. And from what I've read about the expansions to this, with like adding new cards, where it's almost so the deck building thing, there's like 5 cards that you can add.
You're talking about Endless Winter?
Endless Winter, yeah. In Endless Winter, there's 5 cards that you can add that are kind of. That's where you grab cards from, sort of like Dominion, right? Like, oh, I want to
Yeah.
buy that card, and you grab it
Yeah.
from the stack of 15. Those switching out, changes the game completely from what I've seen in 1 or 2 of the expansions. So I think you would get a different feel than you would just playing Arnak.
Okay. Does that multi-use card and area majority separate it maybe?
I think
enough
so.
from those
And-
other 2 that I wouldn't feel like I have 3 copies of the same game?
Yes, and
'Cause sometimes
think
I feel like
Dune
with-
is different enough because Dune is more of cutthroat than this game is.
Right.
Because you block worker spaces.
Yeah.
You are like directly combating. You can play these surprise cards during combat. There is a lot more direct conflict in Dune Imperium, which I think is done amazingly in
Yeah,
Dune
it's great.
Imperium. But I think you would get a different feeling with the area majority. I think for some reason this little megalith board was like so fun to do. It's just like you're sort of adding these square tiles, these wood tiles to this board, and if you make like a little square, you can put one on top and get
So you're
bonus
building
points
up,
for it. So you're
yeah.
sort of building something over there, and I was like, why is that fun?
Yeah,
But it
that's really
was.
fun.
And maybe the art helps stuff like that, which is weird to say, and people are probably listening like the art doesn't help me in game, but like it's got a cooler theme. I don't give a shit about
I think
Dune.
it's a cooler theme than Dune.
And that's one of the reasons I like Arnak better than Dune. I might be like, Dune is probably a better game
maybe
than Arnak, but like, I'd rather be Indiana Jones than fucking whatever they're doing in Dune.
Spice
the Dick
Hoarders.
Snake, whatever that thing is flying out of the hole in the ground.
Fucking Dick Snake. Oh, that was one of the things.
But people love Dune. There's like 50 fucking games about Dune.
Oh yeah, Dune's got the lore in the background.
So I don't have Dune. I have Endless Winter. I have Arnak. I would play them myself. I would play them like I could pick one and not feel like I wanted to play the other one. I'd be like, I'm in the mood for Arnak. I'm not in the mood for like those types of games. I could pick one.
It's probably the only game in recent memory that I can think of that I'm like, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
Endless Winter?
Yeah. I've had it in my cart at Amazon for a while. I was just sitting there with the expansion. So my next question to you is going to be, if I buy this thing, do you think I should just get the base game?
That's what I want to ask. Like, I wonder if Ta and Swoozle and everybody else who's like just slobbing this game.
Yeah, like, do
I want to
buy it
know
all?
which ones are the best. There's even one, I don't know if you've seen this one, the cave painting.
Yep.
You were like drawing on a board.
Yeah.
That's
It
fucking
looks
cool.
really cool.
Like, is it just an extra layer of
Yeah, is it
nothing
just
that I
a
don't really
gimmick?
want
Is that
to do,
an
but I'm
expansion?
drawing on a board? That's
so
cool.
another thing I would want to know, not that I have any part of the buying, but
Well, you have a part of the whether I can.
Yeah.
You're either typing
You're
or
typing,
not.
yeah.
well, not usually. You're like, I bought
Natalie
this.
is typing would be a good shirt.
You're like, I
Yeah.
bought this when it shows up in the mail. That's what happens. But like, if the expansion, is it something like you play the base game and it's good, and then when you want something more, you add the expansion, or is it an expansion where like there's some games where you're like you want to play with the expansion every
Yeah, I
single
see what
time
you're
you
saying.
play it.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'd say we should probably get it if they're saying
bought
it's
it.
good. But like,
She sounds like
but,
she's okay with
I
it.
mean,
Here we
like
go.
if it's like not necessary,
Yeah, I
we're
do
not going
wanna
to play
know.
it enough to require additional
Yeah.
stuff if
I
the
want to
base
know
is
from our
good.
trusted
You know what I mean?
listeners.
Same
Because
here.
I do think that there is an expansion that I think just like upgrades the game, right? Here's more cards, here's
Yeah.
more stuff, which is my favorite kind
great.
of expansion.
Yeah.
And then I think there are like the cave paintings, which now here's the cards that you play with, which now lets you do this drawing on the cave painting thing, which is a separate addition to a game.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what's necessary. And again, and our listeners know, and you guys, like, I don't play games 35 times.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to play on this winner 35 times. Get over it. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. But I
me
might
off.
play it 10 to
Yeah,
15
if it's good enough.
if it's good enough. So is all this stuff worth 10 plays, or if it's like, hey, get the base game and get this expansion, and that will get you 15 to 20 plays of just amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know
Okay.
that as well.
Good. Last question.
Yeah.
So, I think my favorite thing in a board game is when I'm presented with a decision and there's like 5 options and all of them are awesome and I
Yeah.
can pick one. Do you get that from the multi-use card aspect of this game? Is it that feeling where you're like I want to do every
Everything's so
single
good.
thing.
Yeah, you
And I
get
can
it.
only do one.
You get it a lot from some from the actual worker placement spaces. With Dune Imperium, things are narrowed down. And
Yeah.
You look at your hand and you say, all right, here are the 4 places that I can go, or the 5 places that I can go. Ryan took that one, now I'm down to 4. Natalie took that one, now
Yep.
I'm down to 3. This one, all 4 spaces are open for you all the time.
All the time.
If you're the first person to go there, you get a little bonus, which in the back of your head kind of goes, well, I want to do that, but no one's gone there yet, and I get a
can
little
get the
bonus
bonus.
action,
Yeah.
which is cool. I like that. But you get that because each of these actions, one's like get cards, one is add tents to the board. They're all individual things that you need to be doing, and you only get 3 actions around. And you're like,
Oh boy.
I need to do I need to do these 3 things, but I want to do that one twice. Can I do that one twice and this one once?
See, I love
But
that
also
kind of
wanna get
decision. That
animals.
decision is that's where the greatness is in games
Yeah.
like that, where you're limited, but the options are
Yeah.
all great.
That decision making reminded me of Origins, where I have these 4 or 5 options of where I can put my dice, but now that option's limited because I have a 2 and I need to put a 4 there. But I can bump it up. Like I could do stuff to manipulate my dice to get it there. But do I just use my dice in the spot that's slightly less, but I get an extra and I don't have to use something? And then I think you also get that tense feeling a little more in the cards, where I'm looking at my card, and this bottom eclipse action on the card is move my tent 2 spaces. And you're like, that's what I need to get majority in the hex that I want. But that card also gives me 1.5 strength to do the action that I need to do, which gets me 2 more cards, or which gets me the animal that I want, or that gets me the tent that I can put out. So you're like, do I save this, or do I just maybe I just play it for the strength? It almost feels like, damn, I don't want to play it for the strength, but you have to.
Mm-hmm.
I like those decisions.
Yeah.
All right, we might have to get this, Natalie. It's like one of the only ones I've been thinking
I'll bring it over.
It's really good. Okay. So that's Endless Winter, and that's who makes that game?
Fantasia Games.
Fantasia.
I don't know if they've... Obviously, that's been picked up around the world, so there's a whole bunch of other...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, every so often, I'm influenced. I normally like to be the influencer, and don't find as much joy being the influencee, but sometimes you just have to lay back and take it. Well, Shelly from Michiana Board Gamery was giving it to me this time, and even though I tried to say no, I just couldn't quite do it. She called this next game, Beer and Bread, a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10. It only goes to 10, Jeff. This one is a 10 out of it, according to her.
That's 100%.
Every number accounted for.
Yeah. That's
Holy
100%.
shit, right? Then the parroting started. Someone else chirped in and was like, oh yeah, this game is great. Then another. And that's all it took. 3 people. One of whom tenned it. It had been tenned by a dear friend who doesn't pretend to recommend. So my money I did spend. On her word, I depend. I bought it, and between then and the time it showed up, another person I trust commented saying the game was so bad that him and another friend I trust stopped playing the game halfway through.
And you're like, oh, shit.
As it was that bad. So now I've got a couple diametrically opposed viewpoints on this game. I'm going back and forth between excitement and regret, not unlike Natalie's emotions about being married to me. And so we tabled its brains out, and here's a tiny pitch as to how it plays. Beard and Bread is a 2P only game about brewing beer and baking bread. The game lasts 6 rounds, and in the first round, third round, and fifth rounds, players will play a card in one of 3 ways from their hand, then swap the rest of their cards to the other player. Then do it again, swapping until all the cards are played. In the second, fourth, and sixth rounds, players simply play cards from their hand without swapping. You can either play a card to collect resources, or to brew or bake it, which is essentially spending resources to earn points, or they can use that card as a special bonus ability that lasts all game. So multi-use cards. Once the 6th round is over, players total up their points they scored from brewing beer and baking bread, plus any possible extras from the bonus abilities, and then the lower score between their beer and bread is their final score, designer Knizia style.
Okay, I like that.
So things I liked about this game. This game has a lot of cool ideas in it. First of all, I really enjoy multi-use cards, like we talked about. A decision I really enjoy, again, like we just talked about, is picking one thing to do out of a pool of great things. Multi-use cards are really inherent to this idea, as usually everything on a multi-use card is good. Yeah. Right? They don't usually...
Or it would suck. Or
yeah, why would they do that? The game would be terrible, right? So the decision of which card to pick and which thing on the card to pick, once you've selected which card to pick, is the kind of decision I really enjoy picking. There's this other mechanism that was in contention on the Discord that I actually really enjoyed, having to do with resources. When you play a card to gather resources, you take the resources on the card you played. So if the card that I play has wood and what's another hops, not wood, hops and water, we'll say, right? You take a hops and a water, right? Okay. Then the next card you play, let's say, has hops and I can't think of another resource. Wheat.
Chickens.
You get the one wheat you play on that card and the hops you played on that card, plus the hops on the card you played before.
Like any card, anything resource
that
matching the card you played that you already played, you get those too.
Okay, so you then, further than that, you only have so many spots to hold resources. And any excess that you take, that you would take from getting all these resources on your cards, you have to first offer to your opponent.
Like
so I have 9 spots at the beginning of the game, I think, to store resources. Okay. So if I play a card, boom, and that gives me like 6 resources, but I only have 4 spots, I decide which 4 I want to keep. Okay. And then I offer the 2 to my opponent. And then my opponent can just take them, and now they're theirs.
And then could Natalie just be like, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just get discarded, and then they just go away. Right. Yep. I think, can you say no? I think you can say no. I can't remember if you can say, I think you can. It's either... It's been.
I feel like
why
would you? I feel like the only reason you'd say no is if you were also full and you don't want to get rid of any of your stuff.
Yeah, or if you don't want, like, no, I need.
Or else, why wouldn't you?
I think you can't do it if you don't have spots for them, because you can't trade out. The person that receives the bonus resources can't swap.
Okay.
So if you have spots for them, you can put it there. If you don't, they're gone.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's a really contentious
That didn't really happen to me.
thing. It happened to me
I
a
only
lot.
gave you stuff.
It was cool. But that was one of the things that the person that we were talking about that hates this game hated about the game. Because they were like, I get like 7 resources, but I only have 2 spots for them. So I got to give the other 5 to my opponent.
I don't hate that idea. I guess I didn't.
I
play
thought
the
it
game,
was
but it's not
cool.
bad.
And the reason I thought it was cool was because I feel like it was easy enough for me to put myself in a situation where I didn't do that. Like you can see what cards you're going to play, and it's like, okay, I need this resource.
Yeah, you decide
Man,
to
if I
play
play
it.
that, I'm going to give 4 resources to Natalie, and then she's going to be. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait to do that, and I'm going to spend the resource I have now to bake this other card, right? And that, so I could see though you could be in a situation where the cards come out where you're like, I have to take these resources, and so that was a really interesting mechanism. I also really like the speed of this game. I play a card, you play a card. The game's pretty light, so the decisions are nice, but they're not really ever something you have to mull over that long for. So the game really moves, and I appreciate that, because it's a 2-player only game. The art is by Michael Menzel, who's one of the all-time greats, so it's really nice to look at, and the components are really nice and chunky, and so it feels really good to both look at and handle. Things I didn't like so much. This game is not without its flaws. There's a memory aspect to the game that I very much did not enjoy. In the odd number rounds, the first, third, and fifth round, you swap your hands back and forth after every card play, and I hated that.
Okay.
It was impossible for me to remember what resource I needed for the cards that were in my hand that I now gave to Natalie, and I can't see anymore. And more so, I just didn't want to spend my time remembering that. It was a chore. I was like, I just want to spend my time working towards this card, and hopefully the resources will be there such that I can get it done. I hated that now I had to swap with you, and you might hate draft that one card that I could play from me and just use it for resources, and now I get the cards back, and I can't complete any of them now. The even number rounds were much nicer, as you don't swap cards there. Instead, 3 cards get dealt to the board. Like 3 cards get like shared to the board. And what you can do is you can swap with those, kind of like Onitama. And this part I really enjoyed. You play all the cards in your hand, never swapping, unless you wanted one of the 3 cards on the board, in which case you could swap that card you just put there. And now your opponent can take that card.
Okay.
Right? And they can swap. And it was so much more fun for me personally. We kind of figured if they didn't have the swapping the cards in there, it would have been too boring of a game. And I agreed with that. They preferred something, or they needed to do something different. But I did not like that what they did was like a draft.
Okay, so literally like 2 seconds ago, as you were talking, I wrote down card swap, and then an error I said too boring if not.
I was literally writing it, and when you said
is
it, I just
too
stopped. I was like,
that was my
never
question.
Yes.
So what if?
Because we thought, what if?
you just didn't?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it is literally the only rule change of like you just swap hands.
Yeah.
Are the 3 then not available?
And the 3 are not
Right.
So
available.
what if you just for
In the
6
other
rounds,
rounds.
you just had those 3 cards out?
So that's exactly what my suggestion was. I said I would have preferred something where maybe you can only play cards from the board by swapping them with your hand. And so if you had a card in your hand you really wanted to play, maybe you first have to swap it on the board and hope your opponent doesn't grab it. So then you're not relying on how many resources do I need for this card? I agree. I think you could do something like that where you're either playing with the cards on the board the whole game, or doing something like I said where you can only play those ones, and so you have to really time it out. That would have at least felt like you had a bit more control and removed this memory aspect, which I did not enjoy at all. And it was something that I could have probably remembered, if I like really stopped, like, okay, study these before you give them away. But again, it was like a chore I didn't want to do. I found that just like, ugh. Overall, I like this game. I think I would put it a notch above Good Not Great, personally. To me, it's very middle of the road. I feel it's nice, but maybe a bit forgettable. It's just so light that my emotions about it are congruent with that lightness. You know what I mean? It's a good game, nothing incredible, but nothing offensive. You know what I mean? There's not so much there that I'm going to be like, this is the best game I've ever played, because it's too light for that.
yeah.
But it's a really solid 2-player only game. Like, I think you should take it home and see if you and Devin might really enjoy this. I could see this being a game that Devin would really get into, because it's light enough that it's not going to melt your guys' brains.
turns are quick.
And the turns are quick,
Yeah.
and you don't have to just be like, well, let's just play. That's just what happens.
Sure.
It's a really simple game. What did you think, Natalie?
Yeah, I thought it was a good little game. I also liked the pacing of it a lot and the length of the game. I liked how the rounds were like different. They swapped back and forth. I thought that was cool. I didn't mind the memory I didn't mind the memory
And I was
part.
like, I can remember something for more than 1 second. So.
I know. I didn't mind
I'm
the
not a
memory
goldfish,
part.
so I guess I just remember. Yeah.
I was like, I can't remember these cards, and she was like, yes, you can.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
You can though.
You can. I did. Why can't you? I clearly gave you these 3. Can you? There are 3 cards. Ryan, you can't remember 3 things? 3 things.
I don't know. I did have a little trouble sometimes remembering stuff, but I just got in the habit of like, if there was like usually a specific card I wanted, I was just like, remember, I need this to fulfill this card. And so then,
And
like,
hope Ryan doesn't take
just
it
do
away.
that.
yeah, and hope you
Why
didn't
don't I
take
just do
it,
that?
and then we swap, and I'd get that resource, and then if you didn't take it, which usually you didn't, then I remember. You know what I mean? I wasn't
wrong
like
with me? Why
trying to
didn't I take it?
wasn't
you
trying
tell
to
him?
remember like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just
How
remembered
many
what
cards
I
do you have?
wanted.
5.
Okay.
You have 5. You play 1. You pass 4.
Yeah,
You play 1. You pass 3.
Yeah.
Until they're all gone.
I mean, I thought there was a lot of different things in it that, you know, were unlike other games. And
Like what?
like the rounds, like switching, like that was kind of unique.
The resource
The
swapping
resource
thing.
was cool.
Yeah.
And that and like the resources, there was unlimited water, but there was limited of the other ones. So you all kind of
that's
had
a
to
good
also be
point.
careful with that. Because sometimes you're like, I need this, but there's none left anymore
that
for this
happened
round.
a lot. So
you
yeah,
know, so you
Jeff,
kind of have to switch.
You want to like build a card, and you're like, okay, I'm going to play this resource. I'm going to get this big windfall of resources. But on Natalie's turn before, she just took. We'll say there's like 5 hops available for the round, and she just took 3 of them. And it's like, I need 3 of them. But
Okay.
now there's only 2 left.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
And then you're kinda
It feels
screwed.
tighter than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
feels unlimited things.
It was cool.
Yeah.
That was.
There's also kind of like a interesting tightness where like you said, your score is the lower of those
Designer
two.
Kenitsu.
So then
Yeah.
you kind of have to. You can't just like build a bunch of bread. You have to build kind of an even number of bread and beer.
I also like
bake
that
or whatever.
kind of scoring
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like sometimes, like, you know, I would just things would work out better if I had for bread. But I'm like, I already have a bunch of bread. I need to make beer.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, so I gotta like make a
Well, it's
conscious
called
effort
beer
to make the
and
beer.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
well,
so like that was kind of
or.
like made it a little more challenging.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
You couldn't just do whatever you wanted, really. And
Who likes to do that?
I guess I don't
would
know
love to.
why exactly. I feel like the part that I didn't like the most was how you couldn't
Was
build
the person I played against.
Yeah, fuck you, Ryan.
was how like you didn't, unless you had like a specific card or something, which I didn't, but like how you couldn't build another beer if you still had like a beer on the board. You had to like get rid of it.
Yeah, when you brew a beer card or bake a bread card, you
Really on a
you
bit of
boog it
bad
about,
card.
boog it about.
Okay.
Yeah.
You spend the
You-
resources to do it, and then
It just sits
like
there in
flips
that
over,
spot.
and you can't build another one.
Okay.
Unless you do
Until
something
you
to
clear
get
it
rid
away.
of it.
Okay.
Which I'm
Thought
not
that was
saying
like a
that's like a
dumb extra
bad
step.
part of the game, but I didn't like it. It was like it annoyed me having to do that. You know,
Aren't you then saying you didn't like it?
that I'm saying that's the only part that. No, I'm saying it wasn't like a bad like mechanic. It was
It
just
wasn't
I
broken.
didn't.
You just didn't.
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I
You
was just like got
personally didn't
annoyed
enjoy it.
having to do that. I'm like, this is annoying. But I mean, that's like the worst thing I have to say
Okay.
about it. I thought it was a pretty good game, but I also feel the same way as you at the same time, where it wasn't like it didn't like really stand out either to me. You know,
I liked it.
Yeah,
I definitely
I did
liked
like it.
Like we didn't play it, and I was like, what? Why do people
No,
like this?
same.
I was like, this is good.
this is a good game.
I just felt like there's definitely a ceiling for this game, and it's not
Yes.
going to become, you
Like,
know,
I don't
you're not
see us
going to be
playing this
like,
game like
man,
every night.
beer and bread
Yeah.
or Orleans. Oh, which one? You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's not going to
Right.
do that.
Right. It's more just like, oh yeah, that was
Here's
a fun
my
game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is a 2-player game. I'm going to remove because this isn't Codenames Duet.
Nope.
Right.
No.
What 2-player only game would you play before this? So you're sitting down and you're like, I want to play
But
a duel or
not-
a 2-player
not
game.
Codenames Duet?
Not Codenames. I feel like Codenames Duet is
It's like a different category.
yeah,
of
and
games.
that I know you're going to pick that
We
first.
are.
I almost feel like
Yeah.
that's a little bit of a different category.
Yeah.
2-player only.
Because you're also like you like co-op games more.
Yep.
So like Duet makes you work on a team.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm separating the two of
Okay.
you, and you're,
Okay, I
you're
like
against
this
each other,
question.
and you want a 2-player like game, like whether it's Seven Wonders duel, like some dueling
Yep.
game, but you can't pick Castles of Burgundy or. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
strictly
a
a
great
two-player
question.
game.
It has to be 2-player only.
Yeah. Do you have
This
any-
is really good for. This would be really good for that. I'm struggling to think.
I know, I'm just trying to think of what
I know
are
what I'd
other-
personally say, but I don't think Natalie would want to. I love Agricola, All Creatures Big and Small.
Okay.
I don't think she really
I liked
cares
that,
that
one.
much about
I
that
played
game.
it
Yeah, that was
two or
good.
3 times with Bill, and I remember liking that.
It's really good. Acrotiri is another really
Ooh,
good
I think
one.
I might pick Acrotiri.
Okay.
Patchwork, of course, is great.
Yeah.
I'm looking over here to see. what my
Yeah,
two-player
I've seen
only-
your
I would
two-player
probably
things.
pick Beer and Bread over Patchwork.
Okay, so it might be in your like in terms of that category, which I'm narrowing
be-
it down to like
It's
nothing.
It's a good.
Oh yeah, it would be
addition to
in the
that,
pool.
I think.
It would
Maybe
be-
not
so
number
if, like,
one,
if you like
but
laid
it
it
would
out
be
and
in
you
the
were like,
pool.
here's 6 games that are 2-player
Yeah,
only.
it's
That could
definitely
be
an
in
option.
that.
I could see
that
picking
we
beer and
would-
bread. I
Okay.
absolutely
Yeah.
could, and I think for the reasons Natalie mentioned, where there are a couple things that it does, where it's like, oh, it'd be really cool to play with that mechanism again. You know, I liked that resource limitation, or maybe even to try the idea we just talked about, where maybe we
Yeah.
don't swap and let's see how it plays.
Yeah,
or
I
even
wonder-
like we said, we liked the pacing and the length of it. So that, I mean, that's a big deal when you're just picking a 2-player game to play.
It's not a long game, and some women prefer that.
Yeah, that's
I've heard.
yes. I've
They prefer-
they've even said
They
it
say
afterwards.
that this was
Yeah.
They say
better.
It was good. Now we
I
have
don't know
more
if
time
you-
to be with each other.
I don't know if you recall the episode
we can watch another
that
episode of
Devin was
television.
on, but one of the answers in that game they played, she made some sort of reference where she liked
She'd rather
sex
have
over
sex
something else because it's
because
quicker.
sex was shorter than the
shorter.
shorter.
Yep, it's shorter than the board game.
Yeah, I don't know if people
Might as
are
well
out
just
there
do it.
having like 2-3
It's really
hour
fun. It's amazing,
sexes.
and if they are, they're doing it wrong.
Good for you.
You're doing it wrong.
Something's broken.
Sounds like it hurts.
Or you're going
Like,
too
that's
many
a lot.
times.
There's some chafing. There's something.
Yeah.
going
Some people
on.
that
Like,
can just go multiple times in a
like,
row. I can't do that.
These people are working in the industry.
They are. They have some secret.
Yeah, they got fluffers on the side. People are fluffing
Tantra,
them.
baby.
Man,
They got some key to the kingdom. They're picking.
got it.
They're picking
They
the
pick the
number and
number.
they're rolling it.
every time.
No, I think it's a good game. I think that
Okay.
you would enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
funny.
me
It's
too.
I'm actually talking myself into liking it more that we're talking about.
I know
it.
you're, the
Sometimes
way
that
you're
happens.
talking, I'm like, I feel like you didn't like it as much as you're saying you do now.
Here's why. I think that it reminds me of Marvel United. I was expecting Marvel United to be this like huge board, like, oh man, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I played it and I was like, that fucking sucked. And then I played it again with my expectations tempered, and I was like, it's actually really great. And I think Beer and Bread, I was going into it expecting, and this is nothing against what Michiana Board Gamery said, but to me, I was like 10 out of 10. I
Yeah,
can't.
like,
Oh
holy
man, what am I
shit.
in for? And a lot of
Yeah.
people like were kind of like Chris Prime. Like he was like, yeah, it's really good,
Yeah.
man. And I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to play this. It's 2-player only. And I was reading the rules, and I'm like, man, all these things sound great. And then we played it, and I was like, oh, this is it. It's so light.
Right.
Like how is this a 10 out of 10?
But if you come back to it and go, now
but
I'm
now
playing
that
a
I'm talking
30-minute
about
game,
it, yeah,
2
right,
players.
right, exactly.
And
Coming
Devin and
back
I
to
like
it.
those type of games. Jay Poor is one of our favorites, or like Sobek, or It's a Wonderful Kingdom. Like these kind of quick 2-player games have a really they have a
This
spot.
fits right in there.
Yeah.
This fits right in there, and I think it's really good. I still think it's no. You know what? I think it is. I think it is better than Good Not Great.
Yeah,
I said it was one notch above.
One Scotia
I think it might
above.
be 2 Scotias.
2
above.
Scotias.
Yeah.
1 notch, 2 Scotias.
2 Scotias. 1 notch, 2 Scotias. What else have you been playing,
A
Jeff?
notch is bigger than a Scotia.
It is. A notch is
Yes,
like
totally.
is like on the
Scotia's like a tiny bit. A notch is like
a notch
a
is
whole
like one
bit.
click on the inch belt.
So this is like a notch and a Scotia above.
Yeah, I think so. All
right.
Notch and a skosh. That was Beer and Bread. Jeff, what do you got next?
Brew. That's what I
Scared
got.
you.
Yeah, Brew scared you.
Got you. Got
so
you. Tricked
we're
you.
just doing a whole bunch of games about Brew. This has nothing to do with brewing anything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Oh, yeah,
it's about
I have-
it's about ghosts.
Oh, is
Steve
it
Brule.
like
Brew.
It's not brewing a
Got you.
potion.
No. Oh yeah, you are brewing a potion.
You are.
But there's like nothing but there's like animals in there. The theme's fucking weird. I have no idea. So let's get B-R-E-W. B-R-E-W. Is that the only way to ask about brew?
That was the funniest thing ever.
You
I
are
don't know what the
brewing
fuck you're not brewing
potions. They are
anything.
called
She brewing a
potions.
potion? Oh yeah.
They're like the sidecar. They're like, oh, I guess they are potions. Are they called potions?
Scared you.
Probably brew got you, scared you. I bet you're in the car and you had to pull over. It got you, scared you. Brew.
Like witch's brew.
Like a witch's brew or
Bitches
something.
brew or something.
Bitch's brew.
Oh, okay. So this game's called Brew.
Got you.
This is got you again. Bet you're driving. Got you again.
Ryan.
Oh my god.
Should we do it one more time? Brew.
Yeah. Got you. Scared you. Got you.
Oh man.
Scared you.
If you could get dual airplayer boards,
You should, man. I'd fucking do it if I was you.
Yeah. All right, Brew.
Gotcha.
Is a game published by Pandasaurus.
Okay.
A couple years ago, 21. I always kind of wanted to try this out because the cover was like, I think it's kind of cool looking. Have you seen the cover?
Yes. Yes.
Brew
Scared you.
It's got like this deer looking thing on it with antlers, whatever. It's kind of cool. I was
scary.
like, this looks cool. And I always wanted to try it, so I'm glad Dave bought it. He got it for Christmas. Maybe I bought it for him. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, shit. Anyway, this is an area majority game. Dice allocation, cool kind of stuff
Dave
like that.
doesn't typically go for those.
You never think Dave would like this game. He did. Spoiler. That's it. Brew.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Scared you.
And so players have six dice, Natalie. 4 of them are your color. 2 of them are some other weird thing. You roll these 6 dice. You place them on the board to do a few different actions, or you can place them on matching cards, like cards that have matching spaces on them. Have you played this game?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Brew.
I looked it up. I've never seen it.
Okay. Have you seen the cover though?
I just looked at it.
Do you like the art?
It's cute.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I think it's kind of cool.
I agree. I like it a lot.
Would you look at that and say, "Wow, I'm brewing potions"?
Scared
Nope.
Okay. See, got you.
Gotcha.
I saw the cover and I was like, this doesn't make
It's got
sense.
those big
this
block
was,
letters, right?
Yeah, this was one of their 21 Gen Con maybe releases, or it got paused because of COVID. I don't know. Anyway, so when you put these dice out, these actions do a whole bunch of stuff to manipulate the dice, manipulate cards, manipulate the placement of where your dice are, stuff like that. You can also use the dice mainly to try to get resources. So the dice are either getting you resources or manipulating the crap on the cards and the board.
Okay.
Easy. Which you get the resources to buy potions.
Yeah.
Sorry, to brew potions.
Scared you.
Yeah, like it's all brew. The cover doesn't look like it, but yeah, there are potions.
Yes, there are
in
potions,
it.
but I don't know why. It's not like it's not some giant part of the game.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
You think they would call it forest dice,
Deer antler
brews.
Forest
Got you.
animal.
Gotcha, scared you.
Bring balance back to the
Bring
forest with potions and woodland creatures.
What?
Yeah, but it's more. I don't look at it and go, "This is about witches."
What kind of balance?
Brew got
Right, scared you.
And so I don't know why they decide. But anyway, who cares? That's not my game.
Whatever.
Interesting.
And
It's not my-
you can also, like Natalie said, you can recruit or capture or steal animals or whatever. They give you cool bonuses,
shit.
which is great. You get a player power, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I like that.
Which I like. The potions are usually a one-time thing. The animals give you kind of ongoing power. Like, hey, get an extra resource when you place a die in the purple forest, or get this when you do this. Cool stuff. Simple stuff.
The dice look cool.
The dice are really cool. They're not like big, but they're like a nice feel, and then they're like kind of
have cool, like,
engraved sort of.
designs.
And they're like different
They're not
colors
just like
on the.
pips.
It's cool. And after everybody places their dice workers, then the majority is determined on each of the cards. So I think there's like number of cards plus 1.
Okay.
You look at who has the most dice on that card, and they get the card. That's how you get most of your points, is through those cards. You can get points for brew
Scared you.
in potions, or you can get them for animals, stuff like that. So these cards get you most of the points. You can also send your little animals to go live on there, which gives you a couple more points. So you want to collect these like forest cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. And the way you do that, again, is by putting your dice on there or using the other action spaces to sort of manipulate, like, oh, I'm shutting down this action spot, or I'm shutting down this dice, or I can move this one over here. There's a lot of ways to sort of move dice after they've been placed. Your dice, your other people's dice. It's interactive in that way, which is cool. 4 rounds. What's kind of cool is every other round, every other round you're using a different side of the board. So after round 1, you flip the main board over, and there's different action spaces. And then in round 2, you flip it back. So it's like day and night, sort of. It's like day phase here, day rounds. Here are these action spaces.
man.
And then night man comes out.
So is there not like stuff sitting on the board? It's like, is it annoying to
and then
flip?
you flip it.
Okay.
It's not annoying. There's not like piles.
Not
You kind of
piles
keep
of
the
cards
piles
or
of
whatever,
resources
yeah.
outside, and then you have day man and night man. And then there's the champion of the sun. So you become the champion of the sun, I think. It's kind of how it works. What's wrong with your face, man? Now, do you know what that's from?
What is it? What did you
It's
say?
always sunny. in
Either
Philadelphia.
day man or
no.
night man.
Day man.
No. So
I know that song like in real life.
What?
In real
no,
life.
No. Nope.
Wait, what?
Is there a song? Is there a Dayman song? Sing it.
No, not Dayman. That like thing. That little high note you did.
You know that in real life?
What is it?
Doesn't
Sing it.
sound like.
Sing
What
it.
is it? Let's hear it.
You're making me embarrassed.
Flash.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that Queen song.
Jack Black sings it in like that School of Rock
Jack Black.
movie.
You ever think of working for the bad guy?
Yeah.
Something with the ice and stone.
Come to the left. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like you were
Jack
doing.
Black loves hitting that note.
Yeah.
No, it's this one.
You're right. It does.
That's what I thought.
This one is
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm saying.
Not today.
A little change.
So this is Brew. Gotcha. Scared you. And so overall, Brew was pretty good. I was actually really surprised that Dave liked the game.
Yeah.
And almost like he was like, I want this game. I'm like, cool.
You're like, why?
So also keep in mind this is because it's completely separate. This is majority, not control.
Right.
But there is a bunch of ways that you interact with players and the dice that are already out there, which almost makes it feel like somewhere in between. There's not combat, but I can take an action that moves Natalie's dice somewhere else.
Okay.
Which seems like combat, but
I know.
doesn't feel as mean, right? Does it feel worse when
Why?
someone on your map dies rather
Yeah.
than like me moving? But it does, like,
I don't know.
You need to move dice and you need to like block off spots so you win something and they don't. And I'm going to put my dice here so we tie and you don't win that card because you can't have that card. So there's some take that for sure.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe it's the cute art that was just like, hey, I'm playing some dice.
And that makes it
look at these-
cuter. Not
I'm
so
brewing potions.
Got
Got you,
you.
scared you. You know, stuff like that. So there is more take that than you think based on looking at like these cute little antler animal things on there. Because I didn't know a ton about the game either. I kind of wanted it based on like, this looks cool. It's getting decent reviews. I want to check it out. And then when I got into it, I'm like, damn, this is like, you can do some things in this game. You can kind of like mess some people up.
You can get you scared.
So I really like the player powers. The animal abilities really sort of like up the game because if it was just like put your dice out there, you'd just be playing like roll for it, right? That sort of addition to like having cool powers, the animals, brew, ink potions.
Got you.
I think is necessary to bring the game up from like this simple level because everyone just would be doing the same thing. But when you have different animals and you have your own player power, it makes you change your strategy a little bit, but still keep the game simple. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Instead of, again, in a game like Roll For It, you're just rolling and everyone's trying to get a 3, right?
Right.
So everyone's just trying to do the same thing. So art is really cool, interesting, attractive, probably.
Yeah.
But I did read some things where people were like, the art is stupid. And I was like, I didn't think it was
A
stupid.
lot of people think that crap.
But
I liked
it didn't. It's not like it wasn't deterring me from the game. Like I kind of was like, these are kind of cool. So I don't know, but people didn't like things. People who knows.
Everybody's got their
easy to
opinion.
teach, simple. I don't think I'll need much of a refresher when we play this game again.
I'm going on break.
I'm going on break. That's a fresher. So what I would like to see. So thinking about some negatives or where I hope the game kind of goes. I would love to see some more animal powers. You sort of get to, you're buying enough animals where each category has like 2-3 things that they kind of do, and they all feel the same. And I would love something to maybe elevate the game to another level because it took a little longer than I wanted it to take. It sat at the table a little longer, overstayed its welcome slightly for the wait.
Yep.
Because I'm just placing a die and I'm doing something. Right. That's a simple thing.
Yeah.
If you make the cards or the animals or the potions a little more elevated, I'm okay with a game staying for 90 minutes, 75 minutes. I'm
Right.
okay with that game staying there.
Is that how long it took?
Yeah, it probably
that
took
seems
us.
long, yeah.
It was a little long, for what it was. Again, you can say like first play and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And yes, that of course factors into it. But I think there are some little things that you could do to this game, whether it's an expansion pack or some extra cards, that would elevate the game, but not increase the time.
Okay.
Which I think I would love to see that. I don't know if this game is successful enough to say that Pandasaurus is going to pump something out with it, but I would love to see that. There is a lot to like in the game, especially if you're playing a game where you like interacting with other people, moving their stuff around while they move yours around, and having that sort of back and forth in a more cuter way than Rising Sun or Blood Rage, where you're attacking and killing. And this was done in a cute way,
A more family palatable.
but still in like I'm moving your
Right.
like I'm taking
Yeah.
your
Messing with your
die
shit.
and I'm moving it.
yeah,
Yeah.
scared you.
Fuck, got you, brew.
Scared you.
Done. Brew.
So that's Brew Got You Scared You.
Brew Got You Scared You by Pandasaurus. Brew Got You Scared You games.
So Pandasaurus, for some reason, what if there was a game publisher named Pandas R Us?
Pandas are
And it was spelled, it's all one word. And so we got a new game by Pandasaurus. Wait, is that Pandasaurus? No, it's Pandasaurus.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Pandasaurus.
Pandasaurus.
It's called Brew.
I still don't got. Oh, got you.
Got you scared you.
We've got one of the best communities on the whole of the internet, said the most biased man on the planet.
Truth.
And we talk about them all the time. There are a lot of like-minded people in the Gamecaster space, and I'm really proud of it. The Discord especially is the place where we all primarily interact. Occasionally, we will give things away. And also occasionally, people will give things away to us. Well, the other day, one of the most famousest of Gamecasticles sent me a message saying, hey man, I'm sending you a little something in the mail. Hope you enjoy. I won't name names, but I'll just say this person is known for little card games. Sometimes he or she carries them around in a box at conventions and then has insanely inflated play statistics because of it. It's Plurpy, okay? Damn it, jeez, get off my back.
Yep.
Steven is one of the funniest dudes out there, and he also has great taste in little card games, so I knew I was in good, capable hands with this one. Well, the game he sent me was one I had never heard of before called Nana.
Me either.
Yeah, never heard of this thing.
Like your
grandmother.
Yeah, like your grandmother.
Your grandmother.
Or
Nana.
short for banana.
Short for banana. That's how I always pronounce banana. When I shorten, I'm like,
Give me that
can I get a
Nana.
Nana? Give me a Nana.
like a Nana
couple of
smoothie.
Nanas. Which could be grandmother's smoothie.
Ooh,
In
strawberry
Nana,
Nana smoothie.
players are simply trying to
Let's
make
eat grandma.
3 sets of 3 of the same card. If I make a set of 1s, 3s, and 9s, yay, I win. You can also win if you make only 2 sets, and the numbers in them add or subtract to 7, weirdly. And you can also win if you make 1 set, and it's the number 7. Also, when you make a set with an even number, you shout Merry Christmas and then pass your cards to the left for some reason.
Yep.
What the fuck, right? Yes.
All that makes
What
total sense.
the
I don't
fuck?
understand how do you not get that? Yeah.
Basically, everyone gets cards, and they have to put them in order lowest to highest from left to right, unless you're deranged like Natalie, and then you order them from right to left.
What is wrong?
There are also a certain number of face down in the middle of the table cards. No, I know what you're going to do.
What?
You're going to start telling about how we had a couple friends over,
Yeah.
and then they were like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. And then halfway through the game, they were kind of like,
you know
what? Maybe
trade
this is actually
hands.
not so crazy.
Right.
And I was like, don't encourage this right to left
We're all
nonsense.
drinking.
I get it.
No. Heather and Brian were like solely on the side of good, and then slowly over the night,
we
they
had to switch
turned to
hands, and
evil.
Heather's like,
Broke 'em
okay, I
down.
see
But
how
yeah,
this
Heather
is.
first was like, you know what? And I was like, I know what you're going to say. Don't say it. I know what you're going to say.
I love you,
this.
Heather.
Okay. So the whole time you're trying to make sets of 3. So for instance, let's say it's my turn and I play a 1 to the table from my hand. I don't have any more 1s in my hand. So I might be like, hey, Jeff, play your lowest card, hoping it's a 1. Okay. If he also plays a 1, then I get to keep going, asking either him to play his next lowest card or asking Natalie this time or flipping 1 from the center of the table. If I get 3 in a row, then my turn ends. I collect those cards, and that's one of the 3 sets I need to win. However, if after I play my card and I ask Jeff to play his lowest card and he plays a 2 or anything other than a 1, I bust. Jeff and I both pick our cards back up in our hand and then play passes to the left. And now Natalie has information. She now knows that I have a 1 and Jeff doesn't. Maybe she has 2 1s in her hand, and now she knows she can make a set. Maybe she also doesn't have any 1s, telling her that the other 2 must be in the center of the table. So things I liked about this game. Like Beer and Bread, this game has a memory aspect to it, but this game handles memory much better in my opinion. We all have to try to keep straight which cards are in our hands, in our opponent's hands, and which cards we've seen flipped up in the center, so we can get these sets. It's really a lot of fun to do, and even just talking about it right now makes me want to play it. Like right now. I like this game a lot. These cards are also like nothing I've ever seen before. The cards are filled with artwork, kind of like an ugly Christmas sweater, and it's the best thing ever somehow. I don't quite get why they're so
weird.
appealing.
Yeah, why do I like it?
Yeah, but you just have to see them for yourself. The 7 cards are like gold foil, and they're just some of the nicest cards in any game I've ever played. I don't even really know how to explain it better than that. It was a lot of fun when someone played a set that was even to the table, and now we all have to pass our cards to the left. Again, remembering what you had and what cards just came to you really messes with your memory. Again, in a way I really liked. Okay, I knew Natalie didn't have this card before, and I didn't know what Jeff had, but now I have Jeff's cards, and Natalie has mine, so Jeff now doesn't have the cards I wanted to play, so I think I know what to do. It creates really cool moments of cleverness and laughter as you think you know what card Natalie has, and then you tell her smugly to play her lowest card, you know it's a 4, and then she plays a 2, and you're like, what the? Oh, fuck, that's right. Those are
That was
now in
my
Jeff's
car.
hands. Shit, footballs, Steven suggests playing this back to back to back so you forget what was in the center of the table this play versus last play, and it creates more hilarity. And man, this game is really fun. So things I didn't like. The theming is really weird. It's like kind of Christmas for some reason, but also has animals all over it.
When I think of Christmas,
I think of
I
Nana.
think of people's grandmothers.
Yeah, but it's not
the
called
name
anything
and the
related to
theme
Christmas.
and
It's called Nana. Then you have the add or subtract to 7 thing, which is weird, though I get that it's much harder to play cards that are not super low or super high, like 7, but it's a very strange thing and a bit difficult to remember. Like, why don't you call the name of the game 7?
When I think of Christmas, I think of the number 7.
I think of adding and subtracting
and
to 7.
my
And
Nana.
your grandmother.
Overall,
7
whatever
nanas.
theme be damned in this dazzling little memory-based card game about making sets. I really enjoy this one, and this is a game that I can't wait to show off to people. Like, I really like this. This is a game we'll bring in a box. We should bring a box of small card games at conventions and just
Yeah.
bring them around and just play
I don't
them.
think many people
the fuck
do
out.
that.
Nobody,
I think- I've never heard
nobody
of
that I
anyone.
know
I've
does
never heard
that.
of anybody that does
Nobody does that. It's a Gamecasters original idea. Natalie, what'd you think?
I really, really like this game.
Damn, 2 reelies. Those sounded
Okay,
capitalized.
I love this game.
Oh shit.
We've played it like 3 or 4 times,
Ish.
or at least with three different groups of people.
Yeah, we probably played 30 or 40 times by now.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just like a cute
my gosh.
little card game, and it has like a deduction and memory like
Components
to it. And I don't know, I feel like deduction in a card game is not that common, so that's kind of cool. I don't know, there's just like a lot of cool little parts of it where it's like kind of like simple,
So you thought it was cool.
but but it's so different. Like you said, where you're trying, the way you win is a little bit different. Sometimes you're passing cards around, like your hands around, so you have to like remember, so now I know what's in the person next to me hand plus what's in my hand, so I have a lot more information than I did before. Then there's the part in the middle, and and it's really fun when like, everybody has this information and then somebody flips something and then it's your turn next and you're like,
oh,
got it.
yes,
Boom,
I
boom,
know what
boom.
that
I
is.
got this match.
Yeah.
And, like, that's really fun. I don't know. It's just a game that I want to play over and over and over again.
And the information you're memorizing, you're not keeping a ton in your head. You're not forced to do that because you're only, even on your opponent's hands, you're only ever playing either the highest or the lowest card. So you don't have to remember, like, okay,
Right.
Jeff has a 2, a 4, a
Right.
6,
So
and
I'm
8.
like,
and then
Jeff's
all you
lowest
have to really
is a 1,
remember.
Ryan's lowest is a 2. I'm going for 2.
And I saw
so
a
don't
4
ask
in the
Jeff,
middle.
but yeah. And the only other thing, maybe I'm totally wrong about this, but I swear on Instagram I saw Jamie Stegmeyer post about
You did.
this game.
You saw it.
Oh, really?
But for some reason, I thought his looked different. Like
Oh, there's different versions.
It didn't look like Christmas. There was animals on it, but it didn't look like it was a Christmassy one. Like
Yeah,
this
he
one
really
is.
liked it. I think he said something. He liked the card passing or something. Some mechanism he really liked.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, are they not all Christmas?
This is a
Because it says to
retheme.
say Merry Christmas.
This is a retheme of a game called Memory. No.
this was called
Trio.
Nana.
I think it was called Trio. It says Nana,
Like
aka
TREE, like Christmas Trio.
Oh, Christmas Trio.
Oh,
Christmas Trio. Christmas Trio. No, Trio, Trio is a card game which players are looking for 3 of a kind. So it looks like it
makes
was
sense.
originally called Trio. And it even had different artwork.
So if I buy Trio,
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Is it the white box
It
one?
is called Nana. What he posted in the
Nana,
Oh,
Nana.
the artwork is different. It has a bunch of
Nana.
animals, but it's definitely not Christmas.
Oh, there's a Christmas. The one I got's a Christmas one. It's a red box.
you got it.
I got the red box one. There's
Well, he
also like
doesn't
a
show the
white,
box.
greeny, bluey box one. If you look up Nana on BGG, you'll probably see the box that Stegmeyer used.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, but there's animals on yours too. But yours is Christmas animals.
Right. Animals on mine.
Right, his has like cats and like
Well, no,
hedgehogs.
when he says Christmas animals, they're just all animals in like Santa hats.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas animals.
Right, and
There's
there's
a
like
reindeer.
Yeah.
Is there a reindeer?
Yeah.
You're right. There's
like
a
a wreath.
reindeer, but there's also a llama and a gorilla and a pig and a
Right.
fox.
Well, when I think of
Not
Christmas,
only Christmas animal.
I think of animals wearing Santa
Llamas.
hats.
What'd you think, Jeff?
I want the game. I don't understand why I don't have it.
Yeah,
Why
give
is it
to
so
you.
Jeff said
fucking
he
hard to
can't
find?
it.
Oh, you can't find
It's
it.
it's like I go on the geek store. I'm like, they're like, mortgage your house and you can buy this. Like, this is horseshit. It's like $120.
Whoa.
A like new copy. I guess there's one that's $30.
Still.
That's a lot
That's
for
too
this
much
little
money.
game.
I don't trust this person. We'll
I
ship
wonder
it.
if,
we'll ship to the United States
Are
only.
they not?
$30. I'm not paying $30 for it.
That's too much
But I
money.
still want it.
Yeah.
So
you'll
like,
get it
do I
eventually.
just make it? Like, do I just?
Maybe Plurpy
Do I just make it?
has a way to find.
But I
it.
want
Oh, I
it.
thought you were gonna like maybe
Maybe-
buy it for you. Plurpy's gonna buy it for you.
No, I like.
It's
Why don't
fine.
you
find out where
Why don't you
he-
just buy it for me?
No,
I don't understand. Why you said it
that's
to
not what I
Ryan?
said. You said Natalie like I said that. I didn't even say that.
Natalie goes, maybe Plurby will just buy it for you.
she's just
I said
giving
Plurpy
it
will
away
know
for
where to
Plurpy.
find it,
I
or
can't
where-
believe she said
I know, yeah.
that.
If he's got some connection, if I can go like Japanese Amazon or something,
Yeah, Japan.
but I might end up paying $50 for it.
Japan is on.
Amazon. That sounds like a slur.
Jamazon.
Yeah,
Jamazon.
Jamazon.
And yeah, I really liked it. I don't understand why I can't remember cards either. I'm like, okay, this is what
You're
I got.
right, it's
I
funny.
passed it to Ryan. I don't remember what I had.
My hardest, the
So I
hardest
guess
for
you
me
just
was
play-
the middle.
Well, yeah, guys, the middle because you're not paying attention to the middle.
Yeah.
If somebody flips
Until
it, I'm
you're
like,
like
oh
two
yeah.
or three rounds in, or 2 or 3.
That was the
like,
only thing I
passes
could
in.
remember was the middle.
And-
I feel
Really?
like I'd pass cards and I just was like, "What?"
I'd be like, I
Jeff-
know
guess I
there's
had
a six.
7.
do I have Jeff's card? I should have Nat.
Yeah,
whose
who's-
cards do I have?
Right.
Even
Where
though
did
it's
my
close to
cards
us.
Who's
go?
had my card?
Yeah, who's got
Are they in the
my-
middle? And then there's 8 cards in the middle or something.
Yeah.
And you'd think
In a
that I
three-player
could
game.
remember those.
Yeah.
And I can't.
No.
Or there's the
Or
moment that
which
Natalie
one-
just said where it's like, oh, Ryan just flipped over that, and now I know where the 3 is. And then you're like, yeah, it's my turn.
And you flip
then
over the
go,
wrong card.
Yes, I know where the 3 is. And you're like, well, where was it there?
You're like, oh,
But I forgot. It's got to be this one. You flip it over and you're like, well, I messed that one up. Or you purposely, like, there are times where you just purposely, like, throw off almost. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm not giving Ryan any more information. I'm going to play my lowest, and I can't make this set again.
darn,
Darn,
oops.
messed that one up. Oop the daisy. And I just pass it to
This
you.
game is really fun.
It's cool.
It
I
is
want
fun.
it.
Game a
So
lot.
I guess
I like
Plurpy's
it.
just going to have
Thank
to buy
you,
it for me.
Plurpy.
Got it. That's what Natalie said.
Yep, Natalie said it.
I
She
did
said
not
that.
say that.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
Offering it up for Plurpy.
Yeah,
Spending his money.
It's cool. I do want. I'll find it somewhere, or maybe it's a
Find it
print and
somewhere
play. Or
eventually.
I'll just draw
Yeah.
Christmas animals on a blank deck of cards.
When you think of Christmas,
When I think of Christmas, I think of Nanas wearing Santa hats. I'm just gonna print. I'm gonna make it like Old Maid, where all the cards are of someone's grandmother.
Yes.
and then I'll call
Nightgowns.
it Nana.
yeah.
And the cards will just be one Nana, and then the 2 will have 2 Nanas on
Seven
it.
Nanas
7
wins.
Nanas. You have to collect 7 sets of Nanas.
I wish that instead of animals with Santa hats,
They
it
were
was
nanas.
bananas with Santa hats.
Oh, bananas. You
Yeah.
want bananas. And
Yeah.
it's
Some
called Nana.
plantains. Yeah, it's just called
Yeah,
Nana.
like
That's a
bananas
great
in
idea.
pajamas coming down the stairs.
Nana.
Bananas. Pajamas.
So many years ago, while I was just a wee babe in my hobby gaming lifetime, suckling at the teat of Papa Bill, guzzling all the sweet milky board
Bill?
gamery goodness from him,
Bill.
like the runt finally getting the good nipple after all his brothers and sisters have fallen asleep, the game Brass by Martin Wallace was discussed. Bill had mentioned that he got another game by Martin Wallace that was supposed to streamline and reduce mental drag by eliminating the canal era in Brass, and this game was called Age of Industry.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up the play. It was September 11th, 2012, when I played this game.
Whoa.
A day that would live in infamy. This might have been the most stupid I've ever felt in a game. I could not
yeah,
grasp
I was there.
anything.
I
You remember
remember
it?
that. Yeah, I remember
It felt so unintuitive and rules exception-y that I wanted to throw a raw steak at my kitchen window in anger and frustration. It was the reason I made a geek list entitled This Game is Smarter Than Me, a list we've also done here on the show, all because of Age of Industry, which is basically Brass Light.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, I have avoided Brass like we had a falling out in high school, but I see it everywhere around town still. I even changed out all my cabinet fixtures and doorknobs to brushed nickel. I only like the woodwind section of every concert I see, and all the metal I put onto my knuckles when I go street fighting is made of entirely stainless steel.
What about percussion?
Oh, boy. Well,
You say, oh, like you didn't just make a silly joke.
Yeah, but it was about brass.
Yeah, but you
The brass section.
you said you only like
I'm
woodwinds.
avoiding the brass section.
Yeah, but percussion's not brass.
Then Brass Birmingham came out and it climbed. It climbed like the yodeling guy in The Price is Right. Up and up and up it went until finally it reached the number 2 position on the BGG Top 100 Games of All Time list. And apropos position for it, I laughed. Until Amanda, the Main Street Meeple, talked about how it was one of her favorite games of all time. She loved it so much. And we shared like-minded positions on other games like Obsession. And that's all I can remember right now, but there's probably more. So my brain was kind of like, It's been about a decade since the Age of Industry debacle. I'll bet you're smart enough now to handle this game you've avoided like it smelled of putrid elephant droppings. I know it provides a visceral trauma response, but hey, it looks pretty now. I know it's kind of about trains, which is super boring, and you hated the mechanisms of its lighter cousin, but come on, man, everyone else likes it. And you can get cool iron clay poker chips instead of money.
yeah.
Then I started buying, and my finger clicked purchase, and it showed up and sat in my shelf until it ascended the ranks that only games such as Gloomhaven, Pandemic Legacy, Twilight Struggle, Puerto Rico, Agricola, Tigris and Euphrates, and Path of Glory have attained. Yes, the number one position on Board Game Geek.
Whoa.
And I'm nothing if not a slave to content, and so what did I do? Play it for the clicks, baby.
Yeah.
Natalie and I played it, and then played it again on TTS with Miss French Toast, and my feelings are firmly cemented. The cement hasn't hardened yet, because it obviously hasn't seen Florence Pugh, and don't worry, darling, but it's pretty firm.
Oh, man.
Is she so fucking hot in that movie?
I made Ryan watch it.
You watched it. She's so hot in that movie.
She's so hot in that movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Anyway, in Brass Birmingham, players are yawning the entire time until I get to my thoughts as the mechanisms are just dry and dull. This game draws you in with its incredibly darkened color palette, and then you turn the board over to discover there's an even darker side to it. It's like the main theme of the game was in dark mode, and then they were like, how about a darker mode? For those of you who want even less to see what you're doing. Anyway, in Brass, players are trying to get tiles off of their player boards and place onto locations on the main board and establish links between these locations to make a network. To score points, both for the linked locations as well as the tiles themselves. To do this, players are playing cards. Every action you take in the game requires you to discard a card from your hand. You want to build a rail link? Discard a card. You want to build a tile in Birmingham? Discard either a Birmingham card or a card showing the type of tile you want to build. I feel so pretentious saying Birmingham.
I know why he's saying it like
I think
that.
that's how it's pronounced.
Because I just want to say Birmingham.
Because it sounds like...
I want to say Birmingham. I think it's really
I think
Birmingham.
that's how they
Yeah.
say it if you have an English accent.
Yeah, only if you have the accent, not if you're from
Birmingham.
England. If you have an accent, you say Birmingham.
So
These
Birmingham.
tiles will cost you some combination of money and resources.
We're allowed
If you
to say
manage to
Birmingham,
place a coal mine
we work
tile
there.
onto the board, it will generate coal. And so you can then use that coal to pay for other tiles you put out later. You can even use coal mines that your opponent has built. If there isn't any on the map to use, you have to purchase it from this market. And so managing your money and resources is really everything in this game. The game ends after all the cards have been played, both in the deck and in the player's hands, and then points are scored and a winner is determined. Things I liked about Brass Birmingham, the number one game of all time, for fuck's sake. All right, there's a lot to like about this game.
Okay.
Building your network and using your opponent's network to synergize with what you're trying to do is really juicy. The best is when you see your opponent purchased a bunch of coal on their turn to use to build a building. And so then on my next turn, I build a coal mine, and the coal that would get put on the mine immediately then gets sold back into the market, and now my coal tile flips over instantly, and it's going to score me tons of points, and I get tons of money. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
There are moments like this in the game constantly. Oh man, I have the cards I need to be able to put out a brewery. And then on my next action, I'll use the beer to sell this other tile I had out there, causing them both to flip over. And man, what a boon of points, and wow, what a rush. And that happens a lot. The game seems overwhelming at first with choices and decisions you can employ, but throughout the game, you seem to completely focus and realize there are really only a few different things you can even do, as you're completely beholden to the cards in your hand for a lot of these actions, which is a good thing, but can be a bad feeling. Towards the end of my my first play, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have the best final turn. I'm going to be able to build this manufacturing plant on this location and then immediately sell it. Only looking at my remaining 2 cards in my hand, fuck, I don't have the right location or the manufacturing card. So wait, shit, that means I can't even do that. Oh no, and then you have to pivot. I didn't mention this before, but the game is split into 2 separate eras, the canal era and the rail era, and both of these mostly play out the exact same way. And at first I was angered because at the end of the canal era, all the level 1 tiles, which is really all you're able to build at the beginning of the game, get completely wiped from the game, gone. So essentially you're starting the rail era completely anew. The board can be utterly wiped clean like you're just starting over, only with some points and more income. And I initially hated that. It almost reminded me of something like Time Stories, where it's like, I just fucking did this. I have to do the exact same thing again, and I was exhausted by that. Now, that was our first play, and I'm sure with more plays, you'll learn that, okay, I'm going to put more higher level buildings out so I can score multiple times per game. Then I played the rail era, and the game came to life. I almost think the game could only be the rail era, and you could just start with higher income and it would be a blast. The more money you made allowed you to do more things, so you didn't have to waste an action by taking a loan, which also wasn't as scary as I initially thought, though I still didn't ever really want to do it. But man, the game got really toit because you only have 2 actions on your turn, and you really need to get the most out of those actions, lest your opponent take your resources out from underneath you, or maybe they build a link on that space you desperately needed to. So the stress in this one is high in the exact way that I enjoy. I love that, oh no, what should I do when? I don't want you to do this, so I should do this now just in case. But man, how likely are you to do that? Not very, right? I can get away with doing this thing that will really set me up better, can't I? But what if you go there? It could ruin everything I'm planning. Oh, okay, fine. I'll build that stupid link. Also, turn order, especially in a 2-player game, is so crucial. Whoever spends the least amount of money goes first in the next round. And a round is only each player taking 2 actions. The caveat here is I've only played this with 2. So this will likely be different in a multiplayer game, but man, in a 2-player game, I can potentially get 4 actions in a row if I play it right. I see Natalie just went and she spent $25. If I can just do what I need to do this turn, spending less than $25, then I'll get my income and be able to go again immediately, which can really turn the tides. There was one time where I had to walk back something I was planning because I knew Natalie was just going to take advantage of it and then it would ruin me. For example, I was going to build this brewery on my second action so I could use the beer it produces on my next turn to sell some goods, only it cost so much money for me to do all that. Natalie was going to get to go 4 actions in a row. And I'm like, she's going to see my beer out there, and she's going to be like, I'm just going to use that to sell to my own building. And then, it flips my beer tile over, but now I can't sell. And so it's like, you really, really have to think about that. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed also how you use cards for literally everything you do. It made the system, which I once thought was convoluted, really simple to understand.
Sure.
There are simply 2 types of cards, location cards and good cards. Every single action you take, you must burn a card to do it, and that's really intuitive. So things I didn't like. The theme in this game, which I normally don't care about, is so boring and dull, and I hate it. The Industrial Revolution is the least appealing thing I can think of that I want to play a game with. Generally, like I said, I don't give a fuck about the theme, so this should tell you how offensive it is to me. I also found the board to be a tad too dark, and I love dark-themed things. I was initially oohing and ahhing over the thing, but after a while I was like, this could probably be 50% lighter and I'd be happy.
Sure.
There were some little rules exceptions that had us in the rule book quite a bit. So there are only 3 resources in the game: coal, iron, and beer. And they are all different with how they work. If something costs iron, you can just take it from any ironworks on the map, no matter where it is, if it's connected to you or not. If there isn't any iron on the board, you can just buy it from the market, again, with no additional rule. If you want coal, though, you must take it from the closest connected coal mine of either player. In order to buy coal from the market, you must be connected to this certain space with these 2 arrows on the board that allows you to buy it from there. With beer, you can use your brewery anywhere on the map, no matter if you're connected to it or not. But if you want to use an opponent's beer, it's got to be connected to where you're trying to sell it to.
Why?
And it can't come from the merchant, or it comes from the mercantile. It just produces a lot of wait, what? And seems a bit convoluted for convoluted's sake in an otherwise pretty streamlined game. In the Canal era, you pay $3 to build a link tile, which is like a boat that links.
Zelda.
Yeah. But in the Rail era, it's either $5 plus a coal for 1, or $15 plus 2 coal and a beer for 2. But that beer can't come from the mercantile and has to come from a brewery. And so little rules like that seemed really not so intuitive and frustrated me a bit, because I think this could be one of those games that's really easy to get back to the table after not playing for a while, but rules exceptions like those are going to keep that from happening. And I just wish it were simpler. Was
it like a attempt at a theme, it's winter, so you need more something? What was
the coal one? They actually gave a thematic reason for it. They were like, coal was harder to get, so you had to. Right. No, so it's just it's just a service. The theme that
some
hated
people
anyway.
And some designs do that, where it's like, I'm going to push the theme over the mechanism, even though it might overcomplicate it.
Yeah. I never thought to myself, man, I see why you need to be connected to your opponent's breweries, but not your own. What a great rule.
Right.
It was only confusing to me. Overall, this is a pretty dry economic game, and honestly, one I'm shocked has such mass appeal. I really enjoyed this game. I don't, for the life of me, understand why people think it's that much better than any other awesome dry economic Euro game. I really enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. I'm not coming away from this this was terrible. This was dumb. I didn't like that. I thought it was great. It was a really good game. I enjoyed it so much that I'm going to keep it. And I want to try it again. But the number 1 game of all time, I don't know if I see that yet. Time will tell, I guess. Because I do have desire to play
I do see why people like it.
I want to do I want Natalie to give her thoughts. And then I want to talk about this number 1 shenanigans.
Yes, let's do it. For sure. Natalie, what did you think?
Natalie?
Okay.
You have permission now from me.
Oh boy.
I did not want to play this game. I had zero interest in the game. I hated the theme and the darkness and the look of this game. And
it's pollution.
Ryan explained it, and I'm just like, what?
What? Why?
I know. And I was kind of going into it just kind of a little bit.
It was in the hole.
Annoyed.
Started out in the hole.
I'm just
I like being in the hole.
And then we started playing it, and I didn't like it. And I was getting kind of ugh, a little bit. And I agree totally about some of the stuff is complicated unnecessarily. There was a lot of times even towards the end of the second half of the game, I was still like, wait, so this, like, so do I have to be connected here? No. Oh, do I have to be connected here for this? Yes. Like, what do you know what I mean? And I'm just like,
there's some
why?
things where like it's your network, your own network, or connected. Your network only consists of your tiles and your link tiles, and so
it sounds like a Martin Wallace.
Yeah, to use this card, you can only be in
sounds like
your
Age of
network.
Industry. It sounds like.
But if you use this card, you can just be connected to their network.
The selling stuff. It's like, well, do I have to personally be connected, or can I be connected to you, who is connected to it? You know, to like be able to sell it, and you're just like, ugh,
yeah,
I didn't like that
frustrating
at all. But and then also I didn't really like that didn't feel like there was like a ton of different things to do. I'm just kind of doing the same things. There's a lot of different tiles to put out, but you're still just putting out a different tile. And then towards like the second or like the end of the first half, I had a few like of those turns like you were talking about where I build something and then I used something and then it flipped a couple tiles and I got a bunch of points at once. And I was like, okay, that feels pretty good. Like, I like that. And so then I was like, ended the first half kind of like, okay, I'm not like, I don't hate it like I thought, but it's, you know, there were some cool parts, but, you know, I guess it's a little better than I thought. And then we played the second half of the game and I did like it a lot better, partially maybe because I understood it more, you know, and I kind of had, I was like on a roll. I felt like I was enjoying the part of it. Like, it's tight, but you really have to like plan everything you're doing because like the cards in your hand, you have to be like, okay, I don't want to use this card because I need to use this for this. So what card can I use that I'm not going to need in the future? And then I want to do this, but I don't have enough money for it. So how can I get some money? Or whatever.
Yes, that was
were your plans starting to click or strategy, or did the rules click with you? Like what?
Both.
What? Okay.
I think.
All right.
I do remember after the first half, I was like, we had to like wipe the board, and I was like, I have to do that all over.
Yep,
again
that's exactly
and start over.
how
I'm
I
like just
felt.
gonna do the same thing over
Like,
again, and I was like kind of like,
start again from
I didn't
nothing?
like that, but I did enjoy the second half of the game, so it ended up not being so bad.
Yeah, I liked it way better.
So for me, I enjoyed it more than I thought I did. I don't think I liked it as much as you did. Ryan kind of ended it and was like, I liked this game. Like, I was wrong. I liked it. I see why people enjoy it, kind of thing. And I was kind of like, yeah, I liked it too. And I would play it again, but it definitely wasn't a game that like stood out.
Yeah,
to me.
it's a little hard to understand that part. There's so many games,
There's
and this
so
one
many
just
other
seems
games
like
I would
another
rather
one.
play.
How long did it take?
It was kind of long.
Well, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we
because
played it.
We
over
played the
2
first
days.
half
Oh, I
in
did
one
that.
day,
Sorry.
and then the second half we played
Longer
like,
than 2 hours.
while we were working, so it wasn't like sits there
But
sure, I get that.
straight.
if we were to play it again, I think you and Devin would go through it much quicker.
Devin would hate this game.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
would never
yeah.
play this
yeah,
game.
She would hate this.
She would.
Yeah,
but,
would I play this game on a game night with Bill and Dave and Joe? Of course.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Adding more players is going to, I think, substantially increase the length of the play.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
like the only person that's probably going to buy this game would be Bill, but he already has Age of Industry, so that's all we play. Like we'll just play Age of Industry instead.
But I mean, I get why people like it. I
And
mean,
then
it was
you-
a good game, and I see like the appeal of it. It's just, you know, it was better than I expected.
You played on TTS
I had
again?
fun.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's it's weird. So we played IRL the first half.
Yeah, we did it.
Then we like stopped for the night, and then I really wanted to finish it, and the kids were home, and we couldn't come down and play because they'd be like, "Ooh, what's this?" and they'd be all on the way. So what we did was I pretended to be working, and so we played on TT. We finished the game on TTS. I set up the game state, which is basically nothing because it was pretty much all wiped on TTS, and we finished it on our computers like that.
Okay.
And it was cool. And then I played it with Sam on TTS as well.
What did Sam think?
Similar to Natalie.
Sam?
Yeah, similar to Natalie. She was kind of like, I don't. This isn't for me, but I see why people like it.
Okay, so the drama. There's been some drama with this game.
The nerdiest drama you can
Nerd
think
know,
of.
it
drama
is.
over
Yeah.
the last 2-3 weeks.
You want to detail it for us?
like a month or so.
Okay, so Gloomhaven has been the #1 game on Board Game Geek for a
Few years?
2 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
sounds
there's been
right.
this.
Maybe
There's Pandemic Legacy had it for a little bit. I'm talking about just recent history. Ryan went through all of those ones that have touched #1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was like Pandemic Legacy, Gloomhaven kind of dethroned everybody. It would seem like instantly. It was like, boom, Gloomhaven's there. It's now a staple. And then all of a sudden, Brass just jumped him. Right?
Yep.
Just jumped Gloomhaven.
Yep.
And it was like, whoa.
Oh, fuck.
Announcing the
Everyone's
new,
like,
and before you
"What?"
could finish that sentence, a bunch of fucking nerds went on and
Hate voted it.
and then Gloomhaven jumped back to number 1. They were like, fuck you. And then a whole bunch of other group of nerds went on and did it again.
Fuck you.
And pushed this one down. And pushed Gloomhaven all the way to 3rd. And now Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is
Back
now
to
in
2.
2nd. And this is in 1st. So it's just the nerdiest fucking thing on the planet.
Yep.
Because what you can do, and what makes Board Game Geek also great is that all these nerds can go on there and put pictures and reviews, and you can get all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that you can go vote on these games, and you don't have to have any criteria. You don't have to prove you've had it or played it.
Say
or
whatever you
nothing.
want.
You can just click 1, 1, 1, and you can do this. You can't like rate the same game over and over and over again. But if you have a gigantic nerd world where you just say,
Yeah.
hey, everyone, go on and beat the shit out of Gloomhaven, or everyone go on and give Gloomhaven 10s to shift things around, and with the BGG algorithm, it just keeps shifting these games
Yeah.
around. Meanwhile, Arc Nova's sitting at 4, probably just waiting for all these fucks to drop below them.
Right.
But it was this stupid, goofy war back and forth, and it seems like at least now, since that 2 or 3 day span where these games were just shifting and moving around, that Brass has held one for at least a week.
It's like a
from
solid.
what I've seen.
And Gloomhaven's 3.
And
Yeah, Gloomhaven's now 3.
And these
the
are, in my
fuck?
opinion, none of these like Gloomhaven or Brass are.
It's like, also, what does it
they're not a
matter
top
if the
game
game's
for
number
me.
1?
Right. It's
on
a
BGG.
Oh, nerds really
it's an
care.
award, right? It's a
Yeah.
thing. It's a status symbol.
It is.
You know, Childress, like, this is the
Isaac
dude's
Childress,
first
yeah.
game, like, or like first.
He had another one before, but
Sure,
yeah.
but like,
yeah.
and this guy jumped, and the same thing with who's a Pandemic Legacy? Why can't I think of his
Davio?
name? Yeah, remember that was like we talked to him about
Yeah.
it. He was like, I made this game, and all of a sudden I'm the number
Here we
one
go.
game on
Like,
Board Game Geek.
oh,
He's like, that was
shit.
kind of easy,
Yeah,
right?
like, I did it.
And it's like, no, this is, how many tens of thousands of games are out there, and Ryan just listed 10 of them that have been number 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy
Yeah.
to have that title. And these nerds, they put a lot of weight into it.
I know.
If you're
Holy
on
shit.
there,
Gloomhaven was the number 1 game for like 5 years.
whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's been a while.
2017. Okay, it was the end of December 2017 to February 2023. So about like 4
Okay,
years.
and then Twilight Struggle had it for a long time. too.
Twilight Struggle, yeah,
Right? So
it
they
was
were there a good amount.
Yep. 2010 basically to 2015.
Okay, yeah, that's a big.
And
chunk.
then Pandemic Legacy took over from 2016 to 2017. Then Gloomhaven took over
jump,
till now.
yeah, so it's been a weird back and forth nerd war.
And then
That's been kind of fun.
Oh, it was the Game of Life. Okay, so real quick,
Okay.
the Game of Life was actually its highest rank ever was number 1 on Board Game Geek.
Oh, well, it is the Game of Life.
It says on February, there was a bug in the rating system. On February 25th,
bug.
2006, user Mark Magus rated the game 65,535 out of 10. And it worked and jumped up Life all the way to number 1.
There was
there was some hole in the code.
Everyone's
There
like,
was
oh man, we gotta get this game. What is this game?
They probably already have
Holy
it
cow.
in a bag in their closet.
Yeah, everybody played that game as a child.
Number 1, the Game of
Number
Life.
one,
is
the Game
number
of Life.
1. Well, maybe we should all just do that.
Yeah, we'll just rank everything 65,535
Yeah, whatever game you like the
out of
best.
10. Just rank it a million.
So I'm curious if people, because you see this like stupid rating system. Maybe this ends up being a Natalie's Nook segment, but like people go on and just bomb games because other people are rating them a 10, or
Ugh,
they go
I
on
hate
and rate
that
them a
so
10
much.
because
Other people rate them
I'm
1.
backing this on Kickstarter 10, and it's like, but you,
That doesn't even make sense.
there's no way to
How
prove
can
that
you
you
rate
have or
that?
haven't played something, and that bothers me about the ratings.
Right.
Yes, it's the ratings problem. It's not the
Yeah.
user's
Don't look
problem.
at the
Yeah.
ranking.
Even though
look
the
at
users are
people's
doing it, they're just
comments.
exploiting the.
Comments help a
system.
lot.
Yeah.
And I think I appreciate more of the comments than I hate the other things. Like, I don't completely disregard
Yeah, I agree.
anything on Board Game Geek, but that just bugs me so much. Where
It's annoying.
Frosthaven's got how many 1s and 0s before that game even shipped or before it was even made.
Yeah, that doesn't even make
game might
sense.
not. There was a possibility that game never got made.
Yeah.
It was in the makings for 3+ years.
And people are
right?
ranking it,
and people are
1.
already like, it's already
No,
now it's
terrible
shoot
game.
way up, right?
I hate the
or
company
it's the best
rated
game,
1.
or it's this. And it's like you haven't played it. You don't
Right.
you haven't even touched it yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a crazy thing the last few weeks.
It's crazy.
If you've been paying attention to
The
that.
nerdiest nerd
Nerd
drama
war.
of all time. Yeah, nerd war. Oh man.
Hey there, Gamecasters community. My name is Matt Cousineau, and I'm a huge Gamecasters fan myself. Ryan, Jeff, and Natalie were gracious enough to allow me a few moments to promote a game I've designed called Kyperium. Kyperium is set in the near future where our sun is dying and humanity's last hope is a newly discovered element in the Kuiper asteroid belt called Kyperium. Earth has sent 2 energy corporations to the Kuiper belt to build a shared space station, mine and research this new powerful element with the goal of saving humanity. In this head-to-head 2-player game, you will be playing cards into your tableau, but every card you play has a worker placement location that only your opponent can use. Play cards strategically, play workers carefully, push your luck, gain resources, sabotage your opponent, and race for control of the space station, Kyperium, and ultimately control of humanity. Kyperium is hitting Kickstarter in late February. For more information, head to dragonegggames.com/Kyperium. That's Kuiperium. And remember, in space, no one can hear you flip the table.
If you're looking to support the show, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers which will get you access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive content, or content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to, and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast which you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support, guys. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees and that blank that Jeff's had his eye on, please head on over to patreon.com/The Gamecasters to help out. The Gamecasters Twitch account has relaunched, and we're live every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night, streaming board game and video game content and having a blast talking to all of you. If you just simply can't get enough Gamecasters in your day, please consider heading on over to twitch.tv/Gamecasters and give us a follow and maybe a sub. I have the best time streaming for everyone, and it's just a super fun place to unwind after a long day and watch someone who is trash at games play games. Come hang out and engage with me in a way you never thought you had to before, but I'm sorry, you do. Twitch.tv/Gamecasters. Possibly the best way to interact with all of us, though, is via our Discord server. If you go to the Gamecasters Instagram page, you can check out our link tree in our bio to get access to our server. It's a great way to engage with all 3 of us on a daily basis, as well as meet a bunch of like-minded, awesome people. So check out our Discord server. It's now that time of the show where you all make us laugh and we lament over the fact that you're all better at this than we are in today's Instagram inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Brew.
I got you. Scared you.
Scared you. This, Brew.
Scared you.
This is the Instagram inbox with me, the Mad Board Gamer. I went on and I thought we could just have some laughs.
I like to laugh.
So I went on the social media universe and I said, give me your best dad joke.
Ooh. I like a good dad joke.
Yeah,
Yes, you
Ryan
do.
loves dad
Ryan
jokes.
I'm a dad joke
We've been
maniac.
off for a month. Let's come back with some laughs and see what we can come up with. Some amazing...
Dad jokes.
Again, we talk about this community of ours. It's a bunch of nerds. People are funny.
They're funny.
Yeah,
man.
they are.
Like,
There's
I don't
some funny
understand how some of
people.
these people are that funny.
There's some funny fucking people.
Yeah, I can hang out with people. I'm like, Ryan's funny.
Yeah,
funny guy.
Jeff's funny.
He is.
And then I'm like, other people are funny too.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
It's amazing. All right, so I got
Laughing
some good
is
dad jokes.
great. All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I got some of my own that I found that I'm just going to sprinkle in.
Okay, good. Sprinkle.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start with this one. This is also from Dog Powered Vehicle.
Okay.
So we had the same one.
And you know, if it's from Dog Power, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another funny guy.
Did I tell you about my good buddy he's making boats in his attic?
No.
He's doing really well. Sales are through the roof.
Natalie doesn't get it. The sale
do
of
get
the
it.
boat is going through,
Through the roof because
like,
he's in the attic. I know.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what you don't understand is the other meaning for it is like sales
SAIL.
are
Yeah, like SAILS.
SALE.
right SALE
So you
are
get it.
like
Ryan?
that's
It's amazing.
great.
Natalie, did you hear about the mind control air freshener?
No.
Well, if you think about it, it makes sense.
So SCE.
Ryan James. Shut up.
What'd you think of that one?
That was good.
Or the snail, he just bought this car, and then he wrote like an S on the side of his car.
Yeah.
And when people drive by, they say, look at the S car
the
go.
S car go.
Yeah. Get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't get
You don't have
snails
to say it. You get it every time. I get it. I get dad jokes.
Okay, well, you're not one, so it's hard to. We don't know. We're dads.
Yeah. What kind of doctor is Dr. Pepper? He's a physician. Have you heard all of these, Ryan, yet or no?
I
haven't heard of
I have
any
not
of
heard
them.
that one.
Okay.
I have not heard that one. I heard the escargot one.
Okay.
I didn't hear. What was the first one you said? That was really funny. The sails to the roof.
sails.
I didn't hear that one. That was
I
good.
haven't
That was
heard.
good.
All right. This is from the North Remembers over on the Discord.
Also a funny guy.
This one I think you might have heard. Which celebrity is always ready for a bowl of cereal?
Who?
Reese with her spoon.
What without her spoon?
She's not ready. She's not ready. Captain Pedantic over on the Discord again. Dad joke. He said, I told Shelly to embrace her mistakes, so she gave me a hug.
Yeah.
That was always.
He's the mistake.
Always
Sean
a good
is the
one.
mistake.
Sean said 2 muffins are sitting in an oven. One turns to the other one and says, man, it's hot in here. The other one says, holy shit, a talking muffin. Those are like old school
Those are
dad
old school
jokes.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, this is from Swoozle.
Oh, yes.
Said, I've accepted a job offer for the senior position at Old McDonald's Farm.
Okay.
I'm going to be the new CIEIO.
That's good.
Yep. Red Wing Kitty just says, this is
Bronwyn.
like pure dad joke. What's up? And then I like to respond with the direction opposite from the center of gravity.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a total
that's
dad
like-
thing to
that's
say.
like
That is Dad
Right.
101.
All right, let's head over to let's go to the Facebook page.
I got arrested for stealing a complete set of encyclopedias. And then I said to the police, hang on, I can explain everything.
Because he has encyclopedias now.
You get it?
I get it.
He's like,
I get it.
he's molding in
I
there.
get it.
Stop
When you guys were
fucking
kids,
saying
did you
that
have
to me.
encyclopedias?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
did
had
have
on our
encyclopedias.
bookshelf a whole set.
We didn't
of
have the Britannica,
encyclopedias.
but do you remember people would
wasn't
come door to door
Britannica.
selling the Britannicas as if they were Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yeah, could you imagine that being your job?
Yeah, you have to like carry a
Would
collected
you like
Encyclopedia Britannica.
this thing and then
Nobody wants
know,
it.
and then all of a sudden they just become completely obsolete.
Yeah.
Like they're
Well,
it is crazy.
and you wouldn't get all of them at once, right? You would get
don't
like
remember.
you can have L.
I just
my
remember
gosh.
there was a Friends episode where Joey just buys V or something.
Yeah.
He like only has $20 in his pocket.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
buys
give me the
one.
V.
well, like
Yeah.
we
You
didn't
get-
have the internet then,
Give
so
me the
I
V.
remember
I do like getting the V.
Give me the V.
in our living room we had
give me
a
that.
whole bookshelf of encyclopedias A through Z, and I actually used them.
Yeah, well, when you were in like elementary school, middle school, you had to use them.
Right.
That's how you wrote a paper on Mount
Yeah.
Vesuvius.
Yep.
You know, you had to grab that thing and hope it was in the encyclopedia.
I've been there.
Yeah, you
All
have
right.
all the penises.
Brian Lyles, the only reason the Facebook page even exists. All right.
Yeah,
says,
thank you, Brian Lyles.
Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. And he says, I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady.
That's
Natalie,
good
did you
stuff.
hear about the rumor about the butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, you-
That's
Good
good.
for you.
You don't want to spread it.
Tequila may not fix your life, but it's worth a shot.
Like a shot.
Yeah, like a shot of
drink it. Yeah,
tequila.
yeah.
Yep. Shot,
What did
shot,
one hat
shot,
say to
shot.
the other? Stay here. I'm going on ahead.
Natalie's face is like, oh!
I think I know that one. I think that was on a popsicle stick.
Did you know a colon can completely change the meaning of a sentence? For example, Jane ate her friend's sandwich, and then Jane ate her friend's colon.
I saw that one. Oh, man. John Kalinsky says, last week Mel asked me what the date was, so I said it was March 1st. She then walked a few steps and with her knees up and said, fine. Now will you tell me what the date is?
March 1st.
I get it.
Scientists finally figured out how to weigh a rainbow. Turns out it's pretty light.
Oh, it is
It is
pretty.
pretty. Dang it.
Randall Clayton on the Facebook page. I was playing chess with one of my friends, and he said, let's make this interesting. So we stopped playing chess. Poor Ryan.
chess.
Sorry.
We just both said poor Ryan.
Poor
at the
Ryan.
same time.
Oh.
Peter Riggs said, my son is now at the age where he's really curious about the human body. I guess now I'll have to hide it somewhere else.
He found it. He's curious about it.
Because he killed a guy.
Did you know Albert Einstein had a younger?
I didn't get it.
See, this is why we
This is why
explain
we
them
have to
because
explain
we don't know
something.
what
You know when I don't know them.
You
have
know
to
what
explain
I don't
all
know
of
that I don't know
How
you
do
know.
I know you don't know if I don't know
because
you don't
I'm
know
like
it?
this.
You weren't like that. You were pretending like, oh,
No, I wasn't.
I'm going to play it cool.
I thought it
Did
was
you
something
know
with a
Albert
penis.
Einstein had a younger brother named Frank? He was a monster. Frank Einstein.
No.
You didn't. So
Frankenstein.
how was I supposed to know that you knew
Your
that
face looked
one?
the same as
It
the
was
other
same
one.
face.
It did?
Yes.
Well, maybe it took me a second, but just give me a sec.
Okay. Natalie, what's faster, hot or cold? This one you probably heard
Hot.
before. Why? Because you can catch a cold.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Ta, that was from Ta.
That's good.
Ta also said, I stole my friend's board game. He didn't have a clue.
Clue is one of the better of those kinds of board games.
Yeah,
I
it was
love
kinda fun.
Clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
All right, Ryan, you've heard this one. What did the singer name his twin daughters? Natalie? Ryan, you want to say
No,
it?
you said
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Anna,
Anna, like Anna.
You named them the same name?
No, Anna 1 and Anna 2.
like and a one.
I get it.
How do we
And a
know
one,
this?
and a two, and a
Ta, I believe, came up with his own dad joke,
No
and it's
way.
a board game dad joke.
What?
So I've never heard this.
Okay.
I don't know how you would have.
All right.
How do you throw a board gamer's surprise party without them knowing? You plan it unknown.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, well
That's good.
done.
That's
yes.
fucking great.
Yep.
He deserves something.
Yeah.
Natalie, will you?
I have extra games. I'll send him something. Yeah, can you give him a zipper party? What's it called? A zipper sucker?
Zipper dinner?
Yeah, zipper dinner.
Yeah.
Can you give him a
Let
zipper
him have
dinner?
some sushi on the barbecue.
Yeah, Tom, why don't you come back to Nerdfest next year and you'll get a little something. Jim over on the Facebook page says, the best way to solve the energy crisis is solar power, but it's not going to be fixed overnight. Oh, she got it. She got it. We waited. We paused. We let it happen.
I don't think she knows.
I don't got it.
Solar power overnight. It won't be fixed overnight because it.
Oh,
needs
because I need
because
sun? Yeah. Got it.
Oh, you didn't get it.
No, she didn't actually get it. I started a nightclub for men with erectile dysfunction.
Okay.
It was a total flop, and nobody came.
That was good. Jim says, I was working in the bank the other day and a man came in and asked me to check his balance, so I pushed him over.
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
that's a good one. All right, let me get rolling here. Instagram. No, yeah, Instagram. That's a thing. It's the inbox.
Yeah,
So let's go on Instagram.
for sure. Instagram.
All right.
Instagram it.
This
Probably a good
is from Gabi over
Okay.
at the Board Game Snobs. What did Spartacus say when the lions ate his wife?
Something about gladiator.
Yeah, nothing. He was gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Gabby's like the king of puns.
Board
Yeah.
dad
Play
jokes.
says, I love telling dad jokes, and sometimes he laughs.
Like telling
I
jokes.
tell him my
Good
dad jokes,
Good
I
job.
know.
I asked my Chinese friend what it was like to live in China. He said he can't complain. Do you get it? You don't get it. Like he's not allowed to complain.
Oh, okay.
Because-
I got it. I didn't get it.
Forbidden to complain.
The McMeeples. Why was the pond embarrassed? Because everyone could see its bottom. And he said, Sam said, you have to understand the difference between lakes and ponds for that to be funny. You could see the bottom of a
because
pond.
then a pond is shallower
Yeah.
than a
Oh,
lake.
I thought you said
see.
pawn.
Yeah.
I know. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Okay, I see.
Sean James Murphy over
Okay.
on Instagram. What does a magician say after he's been to the bathroom? To dump.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna do that from now on. That's
No, you're not.
Okay, fine.
You got one? You got one for ready to fire?
I do have one. My daughter asked me if I had seen the dog bowl. I said no. I didn't even know he could.
Oh, my God.
That's
a
for
bowling
Jeff.
joke. What about
That
Canadian
one's for
bowling?
Jeff.
Can the Canadian bowl?
Says
or-
here is not an actual sport.
Oh, okay. Very good. Doesn't exist.
Kind of like red pandas aren't an actual animal.
Yes, they are. They're
Kind of like pandas. Here's why do koala bears not? Why are they not really bears? Because they don't have the qualifications.
Yes, the qualifications. That's
Yeah, the
Qualifications.
qualifications.
That's a great
That was homemade soda over on Instagram.
I like that one.
Who comes up with a great? He also has a classic. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. And then him. So homemade soda and Emily both came up with basically like, and her dad would always do this of like, hey, I'm cold or I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. Hi, cold.
I'm dead.
That
I
one. So
know.
that's like a
There's
classic.
there's a really gross version of that I saw in like a YouTube video.
Oh, no.
And it was like this meme where this girl was like, "Oh, I'm coming," and then in the whisper in her ear was, "Hi, coming. I'm dead."
Ew. That's a bad timing.
That's bad timing. Yeah.
People call me self-centered, but that's enough about them.
Lucho AB.
Oh yeah, what's up, Lucho?
Lucho. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur? A lickalotopus.
I heard that one. That's great.
Lucho also said a jumper cable walks into a bar. Bartender says, I guess I'll serve you, but don't start anything.
Did you get that?
I get it.
Okay, good.
All right.
Start the car.
Sometimes I wake up grumpy, but other times I let her sleep in.
This goes in this one. If a woman says she'll be ready in 15 minutes, she will be. There's no need to remind her every half hour. That was from TYG808 over on
That's
Instagram.
good. That's good.
M Stop then said the whole I'm dad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Cool, I'm dad. Well, nice
Yeah.
to meet you. Blah blah blah. Okay. Junior sketching stuff. Yeah, JR sketching stuff.
Okay.
It could be junior, could be JR.
Yeah.
What kind of award do you give a dentist? A plaque.
I did this for you.
Yeah.
What did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? If we don't get the proper support, people will think we're nuts.
Oh my god.
Because they'd be so low.
They'd
Yeah,
be
so
like
low.
hanging
Yeah,
in
I'm
your
so low.
legs.
Homemade Soda also had this one where a dad would always be like, if you come and say, hey, it's nice to see you. And you'd be like, well, I'd rather be seen than viewed. Right? The whole like at
my
a funeral
God.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, speaking of funerals, at my boss's funeral, kneeling and whispering at the coffin. Who's thinking outside the box now, Gary?
Oh my god.
Oh, man. All right, I think I missed something. Read another one while I pull these
Okay.
ones up.
Is butt cheeks one word, or should I spread them apart?
That one's really funny. Is it one word?
What do you call sweaty boobs? Humiditities. My wife and I had this long, pointless argument as to which vowel is the most important. I won.
Yeah. Okay, I think that was it on Instagram. So
Okay.
I got a few more that I found that I would like to share with you.
Sure.
All right. Man talking to his psychiatrist.
Okay.
I'm depressed. All 3 of my sons want to be valets when they grow up.
That would depress me.
Well, that's a strange case of Parkinson's disease I've ever heard of.
Parkinson's.
Get it? Parkinson's.
Yeah, I get it.
I turned down the janitor who only wanted to smoke weed with me all day. I can't deal with these high maintenance people.
High
Maintenance people, I know.
Where do you find a camouflaged airplane? In disguise.
In disguise.
Yes, or the skies. How do you console an English teacher? There.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
That's good.
The All Women's Roofers Convention is going to be here. Did you hear about that?
No.
All the shingle ladies will be there.
All the shingle ladies. All the shingle ladies. What color is the wind? Blue. Scared you.
Because of blue. Got you. Blue got you.
Tricked
Scared you. How does an alchemist please his wife? Elixir.
Who said that? Who says that?
That one I just found.
Oh, that's good.
I found it on Reddit. I found it
Oh,
on
man,
Reddit.
that's good. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. That's what I got.
My
on
new
these.
girlfriend told me I'm terrible in bed. I told her it's unfair to make a judgment in less than a minute.
That one's
Those
good.
are great.
Yeah.
Those are some really, really funny things. Yeah, dad jokes are so great.
Yeah. So that was the inbox. I thought that was a good lighten the mood.
You're right. It was a very good way to. It was like a good ginger palate cleanser before
Yeah.
we get to
know
what
where
game
you
has
were going
gotten
with
too big for its britches and needs to be utterly destroyed in this episode's installment of the Board Game Beatdown.
Today on Natalie. Nope.
Natalie, again?
That's me.
You did this last episode, Natalie.
You guys screwed
Today
me up.
on Natalie's.
Today on Board Game
You can say the
Beatdown,
in front of it.
On the Board Game Beatdown, we are beating down
On the
the
Natalie's
current
book.
#1 game.
Oh.
I wrote originally
Gloomhaven.
that's an
Or-
war against
Yeah. No, Pandemic.
Gloomhaven, but it's actually third now, so I wouldn't even call it a war. Brass.
Yep.
I'm going to
Brass.
beat down
Okay.
Brass,
Yeah, Brass.
Birmingham, and Brass Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Brass Birmingham is currently rated #1,
Uno.
and Brass Lancashire
Lancashire.
is rated #20. At least a couple weeks ago when I read this. Here we go. Brass. We're gonna do Birmingham first.
So,
okay.
for anyone who doesn't know, Brass Lancashire is a reprinting of the original Brass. The original game
Yes.
Brass is Brass Lancashire.
Right.
It's just a different
Brass
town.
Birmingham is the newer. So I don't actually remember what the difference is.
Yeah, but they're very similar games.
Very
right?
similar. Yeah, Brass Birmingham is basically taken
and I
from
kind of
Brass
figured
Lancashire.
since there's this whole thing going on with it being #1, let's just
fucking
beat
give it the
fuck
beating it deserves.
down.
Stupid.
Let's
fucking
crush
game.
its soul.
Just get him crushing
So
there.
Birmingham beat down. N5 says Karma. Clearly, that was probably one that was posted last month.
Yeah. Who was like, oh.
Or maybe they're
This is
talking
what you
about
deserve.
good karma.
Yeah,
No,
you get
this
one.
was
Maybe
rated
they think
at
one is like they're
Yeah.
rating it #1.
Yes,
it's number
this is
one.
number one.
Right.
Yep.
Raja29 says, can't stand the theme or
Raja's
mechanics.
90s.
Okay, that's legit.
Okay.
Valver88 says, boring and overrated. I guess BGG has reached the geriatrics.
Oh man, so you can only like it if you're old.
Yeah, or you have to have a
Or only the old
Yeah.
people are like voting
Only the
for
old
it or
people are
something.
liking it.
Hippo Eater says,
delicious
garbage game.
garbage.
Dude, what if
game.
what Hippo Eater says? Delicious.
Yeah.
What if it says,
Delish. Exataro says, Lancashire is the real number one. Fix your ranking system, BGG.
Wow.
Is a hippopotamus or just a really cool opotamus?
Opotamus. Yeah. A hippopotamus.
Loki Ross says, no interesting.
Well,
Yeah. Yes.
maybe he's
Interesting.
right. Yeah, maybe he's right.
Maggot says,
Maggot.
Maggot. Not maggot.
Maggot.
Maggot. Graphic design. The game is unplayable because it is too dark. I have to bring extra lighting to the table, which makes the experience awful.
Shit, maybe it is for
game
the
design.
geriatrics.
Oh, I already said that. Like many Euros, the game is too short. Just as you think you've gotten started, it has ended.
Like many Euros.
So they have to like
not
bring an
many
extra
people would
light
agree with
because
something like
it's
that.
so dark.
I think what they're trying to say is like you're just getting your system going and then it ends.
Yeah,
and I think
I get
that's
that.
like what
That's the
people
point.
like about
That is the
Euros.
point,
Yeah,
is-
that's the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Is if you just like made your engine quick and you just ran this effective engine for 5 rounds.
yeah,
that'd
it's
be
boring.
fucking
Yeah, that's
that would be
boring.
so boring.
Like you have to.
You want tension.
Yes, there's a good balance there where
Yeah.
like you want to reach the peak of your engine or
Right. As
whatever,
it's
and then
ending.
have the game end.
yeah.
We disavow that comment. That's been disavowed.
You should go eat a hippo. Oh, I said wrong guy.
Yeah.
Why don't you eat an? You're not an
Yeah,
opotamus.
go eat an opotamus.
You're just an opotamus. You're not even a hippopotamus. You're an opotamus.
Loser.
M. Mueller 03 says, just another dry, boring game
Ferris
with no
Mueller.
theme, nothing new or creative. If you need help falling asleep, this is the game for you.
What's hard about some of these is that this game is when did these games come out? Are you doing
Birmingham
Lancashire?
was like
Birmingham right now.
She's doing Birmingham. Birmingham
Okay.
was what 2016, 2015.
Because some of these like Age of Industry and these games they're older.
Yeah.
And if you're just playing them now, I think you get a different sense of some of these
2018 for
games.
Birmingham.
Or I guess
2018, that was
2018 is not that long ago, but
Brass Lancashire came out in like 2000 some
Yes,
in 2010
something.
earlier than 2010
Yeah, it was like 10 or
I think.
11.
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes you get too
2007
far away from 2007. That's early.
yeah
Oh, yeah.
That's like ancient in terms of board.
that is
Right,
that
yeah.
is very old.
Liz Artist says, probably the best train game out there, and I hate it. Avoid
I agree with that
Well
one.
said.
That's pretty good. That's actually
avoid like
true.
the plague while appreciating
hate
it from afar. Very, very afar. Like never.
The best train game out there, and I hate
I know.
great.
That's good.
yeah.
Ryu says, I usually like worker placement games, but I did not enjoy this. Sorry, Eric.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Sanchez says,
Dr. Sanchez.
nothing like going home after a long day of depressing work to another long day of depressing work.
You don't have to. You could
It's
just
like the
not
game
play.
writers were like, let's take
do
the
it.
shittiest parts of the Industrial Revolution and turn it into a pastime.
What are the awesome parts of the Industrial Revolution? It's all
don't
boring
know.
as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, on to Lancashire.
Lancashire.
I don't know. Lancashire.
No, you're adding. Okay, whatever. It's fine.
Lancashire. Lancashire.
It's just
Lancasters.
Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Not Lancan.
Tyrion
Hold on.
Lannister.
It's spelled Lancan.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
It's
is.
spelled Lancashire.
Oh, I spelled it wrong then.
It's pronounced.
It's just
Tyrion
Lancashire.
Lannister.
Okay.
Brass Lannister.
Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah. Yep. Let's beat down Tyrion.
Tyrion
Lannister.
Lannister
Rude
says.
says, burn the rule book. Clearclaw says, sigh.
How would
the
you know how to
cards.
Claw?
Claw
How'd you know how to
hates
play it?
every fucking thing.
If you burn the
JC.
lyrical,
know
how would you even know how to
Clear
play it?
JC, right?
What?
Did you just write it down? His name is JC, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
he's a
I didn't
fucking.
write his
He's
actual
kind of a
name.
dick. He's known around Board Game Geek for being a dick. He has not thumbed or liked literally anything his entire time of being on Board Game Geek.
How do you know?
Because he's like one of the
Like
most.
brags about it?
No, he's
Yeah, at this
just
point,
like
it's
one of
probably
the
a
most
show.
notorious users on the website.
Gotcha. Shazane says,
Shazane.
it says, nope, never. So bland, so boring, and long.
So that's really his name is just Shane, right?
Shazane.
Yeah.
And they call him Shazane.
Shazane.
Shazane in the
Shazane.
membrane.
Shazane in the brain.
Opie says, I could write
Opie. Let's hear what Opie has to say.
I could write a paragraph on this
dump.
game's sins, but I only need 2 words.
Okay.
No fun.
No fun. I mean, you can't argue
All
with
right.
that. If
Yeah,
don't
you
think
are
it's
playing a
fun.
game
It's
about
the
the
same.
industrial.
Bleh.
John Weldy says, the only game I know of with a perfect review in the last 3 letters of its title. Ass.
Oh, I like how you
brass?
whispered
I know.
ass.
Ass.
Like
Well,
we
I
have
was like,
not.
do
I'm like,
get
the last
it?
three
I was
letters
like-
are ire.
Like Ryan didn't
No,
call it
yes.
like
brass.
a
Original
penis
brass.
poster a second
Yes.
ago. And we're like, ass.
Yeah,
Guys,
right.
listen, the last letters are ASS. So you just
I'm not going to say it.
you can just think just you know.
You can riddle this one out.
You know.
Yeah. And last, Elgin J says, uninspiring theme, dire artwork, little interaction, boring gameplay, probably being played by the most boring bastards in the room. No thanks.
Hey, any boring
You
bastards?
boring
here?
bastard.
You're
You guys
boring.
must be the most boring
Come play
bastards
brass.
here. You're
We'll
playing
play
brass.
brass.
Whoa,
Lancashire.
you are too much fun. Get the fuck out of here. Go play something fun.
You're having
Damn
This
boring
table is
bastards.
reserved for boring
for
bastards.
boring geriatric fucks. Stupid
Yeah.
opotamuses like us want to play brass. Lancashire. Lancashire. For today's game of the episode, our good buddy Big Papa Swooze took the reins and helped us out. If you head over to the Discord server, occasionally we will do a Gamer of the Week, where sort of like BGG's Geek of the Week, we all ask questions trying to get to know our community a bit better. Swoozle has an A to Z question format he asks to everyone, which is really cool and probably a bit irritating for him now that it's basically expected. And he makes one for the entire community for this game of this episode. Ooh. And I'm going to go through it and see if Jeff and Allie can guess what they think the community picked for each one. So he offered this up to the community. I offered it up to the community. One of the two of us, maybe both. And everybody took this survey, and I have all the results. And I'm going to read them. We're going to go A to Z.
We're going to pick the this or
You're
that.
gonna decide
Like,
what you
what
think,
did
what
the
you think, and
people
I'll just
pick?
reveal them as we go.
Okay.
I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. Everyone listening, also think about what your answers would be. And here we
I
go.
hope we know all these words.
I know.
Oh, you'll know it all.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
All right. So what he does here is he goes A to Z, and then he does a this or that.
Sure.
With the letter. So A,
Like something that starts with A
he might be
versus
like
something that starts with an
ass or
apples.
yeah, exactly. And then everyone
Ass.
thinks
A,
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
All right.
A.
A.
He's got Azul
Azul.
and then Arc Nova.
Oh.
Which do you think the
Arc
community
Nova.
chose?
I think people are going hot, and they're saying Arc Nova.
you both think Arc
Yeah.
Nova?
Arc Nova because people like red pandas and zoos and Arc Nova.
I think Arc Nova's more popular.
78% of the people chose Arc Nova. You are correct. 1 for 1. Well, 25 more to go.
Put these in.
How many we get?
Number 2, bingo or bongos. Bingo bongos. the thing I say all the time.
Bingo.
Yeah.
No, wait, okay.
Bingo or bongos.
Like bongos, like playing
Like,
the bongos.
hello, Leonard, do you like
Do you
my
remember
bongos?
the Donkey Kong like?
Oh, yeah, Donkey Konga.
Yeah, Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah, I had those.
It was
I had
like
that.
Guitar Hero, but you played the.
Donkey Konga. And you had the conga. Oh, it was
I
great.
say bongos, I think.
I'm going.
Hello,
Oh, I guess we're gonna
Leonard,
agree.
do you like
so
my
let's go.
bongos?
What do we think? We think bongos.
Do we have to agree?
You have to fucking... No, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want.
But I'm
you
not
can
keeping
say your
score
own.
on
Yeah, just agree.
No, I like bongo. I'm gonna go with bongos.
Okay.
Bongos, 53%, so
Ooh,
that's very
damn,
close,
that's close.
said bingo.
Oh, bingo?
Bingo over bongo.
That's
Bingo.
for the old peoples.
We got a lot of geriatrics apparently because they all like brass. Number C,
All right,
Yeah.
number C.
chocolata
Yep.
or Cheetos.
Well, I would pick
or
chocolate.
Cheetos?
I do like Cheetos. I'm gonna say chocolate.
Chocolate?
I
Yeah.
would say chocolate too.
Chocolate.
Well, 59% said chocolata. You're correct. All right.
I do like some Cheetos.
Here we go.
Cheetos when
Yeah,
they're in
Cheetos
Munch.
are good.
Cheetos are so...
Wonder-
Oh,
I like
yeah, Munchies are great.
Cheeto, like the crisp ones, not like the
you like-
puffy ones.
Yes, I
Yeah,
like the
do you
puffy ones too.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
No.
I do.
I like them.
I enjoy
I like
flamin'
the crunchy
I like the
Cheetos.
flamin' hot everything. Like there's like the really
Sure.
hot Doritos. I like those a lot
Yep.
too. There's the
Like a
have
hot
you ever had
fries.
have you ever had hot Cheez-It? They're called hot and spicy. Oh, they're fucking
all right.
great. They're delicious. They bring they breathe new life into the Cheez-It.
Wow.
Here we go. Letter D. Dungeons or Dragons?
Ooh,
Dragons.
70% said dragons.
Dragons.
Dragging these nuts on your face.
Wow.
Letter E. Egg rolls or empanadas? I know both of those are delicious.
I really like egg rolls. Let's
Hey, what
do
did the
egg
pastor
rolls.
say when he was baking bread?
What did he say?
All rise.
All right. All right.
Let's do egg rolls. We
Yeah,
will
I,
egg
like,
rolls.
I think I would have said egg rolls.
Me
All
too.
right.
Egg rolls.
62%
Yeah, no.
said
Yeah.
egg rolls.
Egg rolls.
Yeah, baby.
A good empanadas.
Letter F. Frank Drebin of Naked Gun
Okay.
or Frank Castle, Punisher. Basically, Naked
I
Gun or
don't
Punisher.
know.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun or Punisher?
Naked Gun.
I don't know.
It's Naked Gun.
75% Natalie said Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Okay.
G. Gloomhaven
Nope.
Great Western Trail.
Ooh, Great Western Trail.
And what would our crew like?
Yeah, this is the community.
That's true.
Our crew,
I would pick Great Western Trail.
I think our crew likes Great Western Trail better. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I do too.
GWT,
I feel like they like
Great Western Trail bikini lines. 53%.
said G. W.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Missouri tan line.
Missouri.
I feel like
Missouri-
I
what is
feel
it?
like a lot of them do like Gloomhaven, but they like Euro-y stuff more.
It was very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
Hot sauce, hot tub.
Ooh, hot tub.
Would you rather be in a hot tub or
tub,
eat some hot sauce?
Also hot tub.
62% of people agreed with you.
Hot tub?
You got it correct.
Yeah, I don't
You've
like
only missed
I don't
one
care
so
about
far.
hot sauce.
I think you've only missed bingo bongo.
we
Yeah.
were the bongo. I got,
But that was
I got
really
roped into
close.
Donkey
You zagged
Konga.
when you should have zigged.
Yeah, I got hooked
Donkey
into Donkey Kong.
I
Konga.
didn't think they'd pick bingo.
Here we go. Indiana Jones or Iron Man.
Indiana Jones.
What would they pick?
Did you have to clap in Donkey Konga too? Like, did you have to clap? Like, there was a microphone on the top,
Yeah,
right?
I do remember clapping. You could also like blow into it.
You had to motorboat the congas?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Yeah, I
Indiana
agree.
Jones.
56% disagreed with you guys and said Iron Man. I think this is a Marvel.
I probably would have picked
Marvel.
Iron Man myself, but I kind of assumed everyone
liked
else
all
would
of
pick
Well, let's keep
Indiana
rolling
Jones.
into J and go Judge Dredd or Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. It better be like 82%.
What is Judge Dredd?
80?
Judge Dredd is like a movie hero guy.
Oh, Judge Judy.
No, Judge, what's the guy's name? Judge
Reinhold.
Reinhold. Yeah, that's what I want. No, I think Judge Judy.
Yeah.
64% said Judge Dredd.
Really?
People like Judge
I don't
Dredd.
even know who that is.
Come on. Have you seen Judge Judy?
She
is
is-
like...
She's a
when someone
badass.
says
She's
Judge,
a badass.
you think Judy.
Judy.
Yes, you do.
Reinhold.
Wrong.
Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold.
Kilt. Kimono.
Kimono. In the nerd world,
Yeah.
they
Kimono
go Japanese.
raised reign supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese.
was a Japanese
popular.
ring.
Correct. 53% say kimono. Lady Gaga
Lady Gaga.
or
Poker Face.
Lincoln Park. Right, Poker Face. See, it all comes
Lady
together.
Gaga or Lincoln
Ooh.
Park.
Lady Gaga,
Gaga.
or Lincoln Park.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna say people like Lincoln Park.
Correct. Jeff is
Really?
54%. I mean,
Ooh,
this
Is Lincoln Park that popular?
well, I think there's more of a male-dominated
also
audience
dude-
here.
yeah.
Are guys voting for Lady
Dudes grew
Gaga?
up
They
in the
should.
90s and they were like, in the end. You know, like the
Nothing really matters. Mr. Bean versus Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Bean.
Bean.
In our closest one yet.
Whoa.
Mr. Bean.
Bean.
51%
All right, Bean.
over
Wow,
Mr. Rogers,
surprised it was
49%.
that close.
This is how you remind me of what I... Nickelback.
Okay.
Or the thing that Nickelback gives people, nightmares.
Oh,
So you really, it's the
I'm gonna
same
go
thing.
Nickelback.
People are gonna say people have this. People
They hate Nickelback, but
because
I would
it's
rather-
cool
They hate
gonna-
Nickelback.
Yeah, it's cool to hate.
But Nightmares are
Nickelback.
awful.
I'm gonna say people are saying nightmares because it's cool to hate Nickelback.
I'm gonna say
So you're-
Nickelback.
It's 59% to nightmares.
people.
What?
People just
Nightmares are terrible.
No, but he's right. It's cool. It's
Yeah,
still cool.
people just,
They
like,
hate
you're the
Nickelback.
refuse to
generic
pick
band member
Nickelback
goes
for
to,
anything.
Like, they suck.
I like most all their songs, man. I like.
terrible. I
You
don't
know who else I like?
understand.
I like Creed.
I don't understand.
I think
Yeah.
Creed's also
I like
really.
Creed.
I really like.
Take me out. Yeah.
Can
Why not?
you
Who
take
cares?
me
Yeah. What's
I
that
think it's
one
good.
song? That other song they sing?
Creed.
Yeah.
There's like 30 of them.
No, like the popular one.
Pilot, that's it. The song we just.
101.
Oh,
The
arms
only
wide
way.
open.
With arms wide open. Under the moonlight.
Yeah, I like that one.
Take me to this place.
When I was younger, my mom hated Creed, and if I tried to play a song, she would be like, "Turn it off
Why?
now! I can't stand them."
Cause it's cool to hate
I'm like,
them.
why?
Because Scott Stapp was a douche, and that's why everyone
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah, but
"Oh,
my
the
mom
music's
doesn't
dumb."
know he's a douche. Like,
She
she's
knew.
not like that.
What did she
cool.
not like Creed for then?
She didn't like his
They
voice.
just got good songs. Orcs, ogres.
Oh,
Ogre.
orcs.
I like Shrek.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
64% say orcs.
Ooh,
There's a real fantasy theme.
Yeah, I
there.
feel like
think
it's more
people
like a fantasy.
Well, ogres are fantasy too,
I know, but orcs is
are
like a Lord of the
Tolkien
Rings
stuff.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Pop, 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 poker. Or pop, 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 patchwork face.
Wait,
Pop, 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 patchwork face. Pop,
What's the
patchwork
real
face.
thing?
It's poker or patchwork.
Oh, poker or patchwork? What
Oh,
would people rather play?
poker.
Poker or patchwork.
Poker. I'm saying poker.
Yeah.
Okay. It is actually 59% say patchwork.
Really?
Patchwork's the board game, I'm guessing.
I
is
know.
why.
That's probably why.
Quarter pounder or a quiche.
A Royale with cheese. I pick Royale with cheese.
I know I didn't go to Burger King.
Yeah.
What's a Whopper?
Again,
Quarter
people just gonna say
pounder?
quiche because they want to be cool, but like,
I mean, I feel like people like burgers more than a quiche.
I'm gonna say quiche.
I do like
because people like
quiche,
to sound like they're fancy.
Okay, and we were saying quiche as well?
I'm saying quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder. And our most lopsided one so far, 80% say quarter pounder.
Good. You know, I'm happy I got
Yeah,
that
I figured you would be. Here we go. Rocky or Rambo? Same actor.
Oh, man.
So Rocky's
Different
the
character.
boxer.
Rocky's the boxer. Rambo is the Marine guy or the guerrilla.
Oh, I've never seen
warfare
either
dude.
of them, but I know who they are.
Oh, well, you're not a guy, so I
gonna say-
don't totally
I'm gonna say
blame you.
Rocky.
They're both badass movies. I'll say that.
I feel like Rocky.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rocky. I'm gonna say
It's like more
Rocky.
classic, I guess.
Ooh, wow.
Percent say Rocky.
How much?
72% say Rocky.
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday.
You might have seen some people talk about this one in the Discord. More people have mentioned it. I
Oh,
think.
Saturday.
Saturday is by far the best day of the
And
week.
now the most lopsided answer of all of them. Saturday, 88% over
because
Sunday. It's
Sunday,
over
you have to go
Sunday's the
work.
Yeah, you
last
gotta
day
go
of the
work the next
weekend.
day.
Yeah, the Sunday scaries.
I think Plurpy had a contentious viewpoint on this. I'm not
I
going to pull
remember
it up.
now. Plurpy said
He was like,
it
no,
was
Sunday's great.
It was his productive day, and Sunday was his relaxed.
Yeah, whatever. Saturday's better.
I don't want to be productive.
No, I want to just fucking
I
do
want
nothing. And then by the end of the day, you're
To
just like,
not
cry.
have a job.
Yeah,
And
right,
I want
exactly.
I want every day to feel like Saturday.
Saturday. Here we go. This is the closest one. Taco Bell, Target.
Oh shit!
God damn, Natalie. We broke Natalie. We broke Natalie. It's over.
That's because
Oh,
shit! These are her two favorite things of all time.
Oh, my
These are her
God.
two favorite things. If she could live in a store, it'd be Target. If she could only eat
so
one food, it would be Taco Bell.
If they took out the Starbucks and the Targets and added a Taco Bell, Natalie would never
She
fucking
would never leave.
Oh,
She lives
She
there.
would go there.
You guys are
That's
married.
a good one.
but
That's
she
a
lives
good
there.
one.
Oh shit!
Are you serious?
Oh my god!
I have an answer.
Oh my
Okay.
I have an
I
answer.
cannot wait to hear this. What is your
It's
answer?
Target.
Mine's
Okay.
Taco Bell.
The Target.
We should listen to
Taco Bell.
we should listen to the master.
Oh,
Target
man.
51% over Taco Bell 49%.
51?
51-49.
Wow.
It was the closest.
It was the closest
matchup.
one.
Damn.
You were too busy shitting.
You were shitting all over our faces.
goodness.
Oh man, we peaked pretty hard there for a while. Okay, that's fine.
Sorry. You're like screaming.
Letter
We'll
U,
cut it down.
unicorns, UFOs.
Oh, UFOs.
UFOs.
Yeah, UFOs.
59%
They're more
UFOs.
interesting.
Van Halen or Van Damme.
Van Halen.
Because you don't know anything. You don't know anything.
I know
about
who Van Damme is.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. I like that. What's the hockey one? Score. Fuck. Penalty box. I'm making that up. Shit.
There's
what's
a hockey movie?
Yeah, there's a hockey. Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Yeah,
right.
sudden death. I'm gonna say that people like music in our thing. I'm gonna go with Van Halen.
Correct. 67% say Van Halen.
Yeah, we got a music crowd.
All right, letter W, a wombat or a woodpecker.
Oh.
Wombat. In a fucking blowout.
Really? Okay.
Woodpecker.
Wombat?
People don't like. Some people. I don't really care.
People hate fucking
But
woodpeckers.
if I chose
Wait.
to randomly hate something, woodpecker.
Woodpecker might be
one.
something you might not
Yeah.
like. They're loud and annoying.
They can peck
They
like
are
400
annoying.
things per second or something. They're like loud
I
as
just
shit.
saw that.
Wombat. Day Night Day. Emily's just read it on the morning.
No,
on
it
a
was
card?
on MXR Plays.
Really?
No, it was
It was just
on
the other day.
Date Night Dice story
Date Night
where
Dice.
Emily read
Genie
it.
was like this. Or something. No, wasn't
Genie's so
Genie?
hot. I don't
My
know.
God.
Genie's hot. I think I think Jeff is
Is
probably
anyone?
right.
Am I here?
I think Jeff is
Does
probably
anyone
right.
hear me?
That's okay. I
You
believe you.
clicked on Day Night Dice story yesterday, and they're playing fucking
Wingspan.
Wingspan.
They're playing Wingspan.
And Ben or M read that a woodpecker can peck.
You're right. It was Ben and M. You're right.
Oh my
It was not
god!
MXR Plays.
Are you? Am I here? What am I
In my
doing
head,
here?
I picked.
Why?
It was Ben doing that. In my head, I pictured it was Genie, but it was Ben.
What the fuck? I was ignored for a minute.
I swear.
No, it wasn't. No, you're
You're
fucking
right. You're
idiot. It was
totally
not Date
right.
Night Dice. It was clearly this.
No, it was Ben.
All right. Yeah, it was bad.
I apologize.
Even when you were like, "Some of our plays," and I was like, "I don't think so." You were like,
Okay.
"Yeah." Don't
Wombat.
you
Did
remember?
Wombat win?
Your lover Genie said so. Wombat, 57% over Woodpecker. X-Men or X-Wing. So Marvel or Star Wars here.
X-Men.
God. I don't know. X-Men. I'm going X-Men.
54% agreed with you two.
All right, the X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah, bitch.
Here we go. The last two. Yoga, yogurt.
Oh, there's Yoda or Yoga.
Yoda. Come on.
No, yogurt.
I say yogurt.
Yogurt, 78%.
Frozen yogurt. Yeah.
Ooh, frozen yogurt, 100%.
Yeah,
100% zero. And our last one, and also a pretty big blowout here: zombies or zealots.
What's
Yeah.
zombies, bitch?
Yeah.
Yes, zombies bitch wins with 86%. Very, very good. So that was our A to Z
Yay.
countdown.
Game.
Go
We
off.
swoozled
Thank you
ourselves.
very much,
Easy.
Big Papa Swooze,
Easy as
for
one,
giving us
2,
that.
3.
We have come finally to the big daddy of our top 5 lists. This is
Oh, yeah.
the top 5 games of all time, according to us. Last episode, way back when we did our 6 through 10, we are now going through 1 through 5. Are you ready to find out what happened? I cannot wait. We're going to go this way. We're going to go Natalie, Jeff, and me.
Okay.
Natalie, I want you to start with your number 5 game of all time. Did I give you enough time?
God, do you remember when she just like... Why was I ignored
Oh,
so
yes.
hard?
She was
completely
I was
ignorant.
You know what's funny is she
that.
does this all the time. She's like, for sure, it's this one thing, and I'm
Okay.
like, no,
Okay, you're right.
no. And then finally, when she gets it, and it's me. She's like, oh,
Well, when
oh
you
yeah,
said the story,
Yeah.
I thought you meant on their podcast, and I was like, no, because that was a while
yeah.
ago.
But why would you think? Wasn't that trick? Go ahead, number 5,
Sorry.
Natalie.
My number 5
Number 5.
game of all time at this moment in time is Underwater Cities.
Oh,
Yay, good
baby,
one.
number 5.
I really like that game. I mean, we don't play it that often, but every time I do get it played, I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, I get that. I'm
So
like, I'm gonna
good.
get that.
This
Like,
feels
yes,
great.
I feel this is as good as I remember it being. I want to play it more.
Nice.
That kind of thing.
Okay,
Do we want to... Because it's been like a month.
you want to go back
Do you have
over?
your 10 through 6
Oh,
ready
yes.
or no?
Yeah.
Can we maybe just do a quick... So what was your 10 through 6?
10
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
through 6. Okay. 10 was Arc Nova.
Right?
9 was Pulsar 2849.
Boom.
8 was Decorum.
Oh, yeah, Decorum. You
7
shocked me with a few of these.
Yeah.
7 was Witchstone.
Wow.
And 6 was Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay.
And now 5 is Underwater
And now
Cities.
5 Underwater Cities.
Yep.
Good
Okay.
call, Jeff. All right, Jeff, what was your 10 through
My
6?
number 10 was Obsession. 9 was
Good game.
Homesteaders. 8 was Bitoku. 7, Lost Ruins of Arnak. 6 was Castles of Burgundy. And number 5 is Orleans.
Yeah,
Orleans is good.
Yeah.
great, man.
It is
great.
When I think of Orleans, I think of you.
Man, it's good. Yes,
You
good.
guys love that game.
Yeah, and Devin loves
It's a
it,
great
so
game.
it's like one that we can always just kind of pick, and she never really needs like rules, refresher,
Going on break.
bits you gotta get. You just gotta get the bits.
Gotta get the bits.
The bits.
The BGG bits.
The BGG
Go bit
Go
Geek
yourself
Up
Bitties.
and get it.
Bits.
And it just is like the expansions are good. I finally played the
co-op one?
cooperative
What'd you think?
version. I really liked it.
Good as fuck, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know how you pick your own personal goal?
Yeah.
There was one. I had two to pick from, and then the one that I didn't pick was the one where you have to like spend something every single round. And the only reason I didn't pick that, I was like, I don't want to lose in the second round.
Right. That's like even more that I got.
But it's hard as shit.
It's so
Invasion
hard.
is so hard. But then there's like the trade and whatever, the intrigue one.
Trade and
they're
intrigue.
great additions to the game. And to take a game that's like, here's this Euro bag buildy game, and to be like, here's how you play it co-op. Here's how you add something else. Is just so cool. There's so many different ways to play that game. Orleans, number 5. Boom.
Beautiful. All right, for me, number 10 for me was Cosmic Encounter. Number 9 was Arc Nova.
Yep.
Number 8, The Guild of Merchant Explorers, which I just played again on TTS with Sam. And
Essential.
then, gosh, it's great.
I just played it with Devin.
Did you?
Like 2
So
nights
good.
ago.
So good.
We played it with Brian and Heather.
And
too.
played it with Brian and Heather. So good. Number 7, Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan.
Number 6, Hadrian's Wall. And number 5, this is kind of crazy, Star Wars Destiny. Number
Slipping
5.
down the charts.
There
Son
it
of a
goes.
bitch.
Wow.
I
I'm
can't
proud
help
of
the way
you
it
for
shook out.
What's more surprising, that slipping to 5 or like Castles of Burgundy at like 20 something? Like you
I
said
know. That slipping to 5.
Poor Castles
Yeah.
of Burgundy.
He like for a long time was like, that's my number 1. And it won't budge.
It was.
But I
Yeah,
think
it
enough time has
never-
passed and he doesn't play it.
Haven't
It
played
had
it.
to.
Haven't played it
You
in
can't
years.
keep calling it your
Nobody's
number 1.
playing
You don't
with
even
me, so
play
I
that.
don't even-
big.
I can do whatever the fuck I want, okay? I can if I want to call it my number 1. You know what? Just out of principle.
It's not number.
It's not number 5.
one.
It's number 1
We're
now.
going
Scratch
backwards.
that. Number
You
5.
can't call
you
it number
can't.
5.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Whatever you say, my queen. Natalie, what's your number 4?
My number
Run
4.
through 10 through 6 again.
No.
Yeah, could you? No, 10 through 5.
Just
now.
rewind. Number 4 is Guild of Merchant Explorers. for
Wow.
me.
That
Whoa,
shot up way
4.
high.
I mean, I freaking love that
I know.
game. Sorry,
Yeah, you
Gabby.
do.
I love
That
it.
is.
Sorry, Gabi.
I know. Gabi went in with some some different expectations about that game.
Weirdly.
That really ruined it.
I
Because
kind of
though.
feel like we pumped it up too
Yeah,
much.
Yeah,
for
but
him.
he's still I think he's
Maybe-
the only person I've heard of that doesn't like this
even
game.
Gary, who
Gary liked it
hates
more than
everything.
Gabi.
Gary was like, the game is fine, and
Yeah.
Enrique, both they were like, it's
I feel like
it's
they
too
all
light.
thought
Like
it
they
was,
don't want to
like,
play it a lot
okay.
because it's too light for
None
what
of
they want
them
to play.
loved it, but they didn't like. They were like, it's okay.
But I know what it is, so I have different expectations. I think he had like the Guild of Merchant Explorers. He was expecting like this pick up and deliver big
Okay,
sort of
yeah, so he was probably
doing.
he had the Marvel United
completely
thing.
not.
Yeah.
He needs to go back and play it now that he knows it's just like basically a roll and write.
Play with us. Go to a convention. Play with us.
I mean, that might
it's just
be
fun.
one of in the past year, one of the games I've played the most, and probably
yeah.
will continue to keep
other than,
playing
like,
a lot, which is
totally
not
wanna play
normal
that.
for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that deserves a spot in the top 10.
Agreed. Very good. Jeff, how about you, man? Number 4.
My number 4 is Trismegistus.
Wow.
Just holding there.
Wow.
Played it a few times. It's good.
Yeah.
It's crunchy. It's good. I know it turns people off because there's some weird iconography on it. It can be like a little long, but that never usually bothers me with sort of heavy games. It's got some great like combo actions. You can take turns on other people's turn, which sort of lessens the downtime, but increases the time of the game, right?
Sure.
But I look at that game all the time, and I'm like, I want to play that now. And Devin won't play with me because she's like, I don't
Too
want to play
heavy.
this game.
Yeah.
Joe still hasn't played it. He really wants to play it with me.
Okay.
But I'm like,
Yeah, we haven't.
I look at it all the time, and I'm like, that I want to get that game back to the table.
There's some
I really
people in the
want it.
Discord that agree with you.
Yeah, I think Ta and
Yeah, there was like 2 people I feel like they were
Someone
like,
else
man,
was
it's
like,
so
it is
good. Was it bored to
amazing.
play maybe or something?
Yeah, Joe maybe likes it. And there's just like, there's always moments where I'm like, I'm playing that right now. Like I'm picking it on game night, and then it just sometimes it doesn't happen, but whatever. But I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
I get great feelings just thinking about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, also a little slipping a little bit, is Terra Mystica. For a while was number
man.
2. Again, we just haven't played it in a while. Still, there might not be a game outside of Star Wars Destiny or another one on this list that gives me, when I'm playing it, the entire play is like, this is just so great.
I don't know what
This
Ryan's
just
number
feels
2 is.
so much fun.
You know what his number 3 is?
I know what one of the next 3 is,
Yeah.
yeah, you both do, I think.
Yeah.
and I know
It won't
one
come
of
as
your next 3.
I don't think it'll come as that much of a surprise to you. Maybe number 3
trying
will
to
be a
guess.
surprise. Natalie, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is not a surprise. It is Istanbul,
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
a game
not
that
surprising.
has held solid in my
That
top
is one of
5
For a while, it
long
was number
time.
1, and yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's like coming up and down, but like it was still high up for a long time, and still is.
It's a great game.
good game.
It's an
Yeah.
essential game, I would say.
It's just
You gotta get it.
Like if you're
It's
starting a
essential.
collection, you should probably
Might as well just grab it. Jeff, how about you, man? Number 3.
My number 3 is already on both of your lists. Arc Nova.
Nice. Wow, yours
so
is
You know what's
much
funny about
higher.
Arc Nova
fucking good.
is when I played it the first time I played it, I was like, okay, this is good. I don't think this is as good as I was hoping
Yeah,
it
then you
would be.
became obsessed
And then
with
I
it.
just couldn't stop playing it. I
Yeah.
played it like 26 times.
Yeah. Well, we've played it like we played it back to back right away. We played it again at some point randomly, and then our most recent play, we played it and left it on the table. And then Devin was like, "If the kids go down,
Let's
let's
finish
play it
this,
again.
yeah.
No, let's play another.
Oh.
I played another one. Like I was
Wow.
like, okay.
Oh,
Kids
you
ended up
played it
didn't
and
go to
left
bed.
it
We
set up,
played
I
it
see. Left
and
it
then
out.
left it there for the next night, and we ended up not playing it again. But it's one that Devin loves.
Yeah.
and she does very well at it. So that always
She gets
helps.
it.
She gets it.
Yeah. She's
She
smarter than
clicks.
that
She knows
game.
what to do. There's never like a question of like, what do I need to do? She just knows.
Yeah.
And that helps it get to the table, and we've been playing it often, and it's awesome.
Damn.
It
There's a
is.
red panda card. It's like a fake.
It's
like
not
a fake
real.
animal.
It was somebody wrote it in.
like they added fake animals to it.
There was
One
like
of
it was
the-
like
Video
stretch
game or
goal
something.
yeah
on the non-existent
show.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me. This one you may not have expected this to be this high, but I love this. I love this game. It just came out last year, and it's Wonderland's War.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a
I did
good
not have
game.
that one.
I fucking
I know you really like that.
love
That's a great
that
one.
game. It's got the
That's my
bag
number 17.
the bag buildery goodness. It's got the component quality. It's got the artwork.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy the Alice in Wonderland theme on it, and it just feels
Yeah,
great.
Like it
to
could be
play.
anything, but it's cool.
Yeah,
like
I
they,
like
they
that.
did
It
it
is
well
cool.
with adding
They
the
did a good
table,
job with it, yeah.
right? And you're kind of running around that table,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Like it's pretty sweet. The area majority of it feels fine. And I love pulling them chips out of the bag.
Wow,
The
number
fucking way to-
3.
Number 3. I was a little
Damn.
surprised,
Bag
but
pulling.
I also stand by it. Natalie, number 2 we've come to.
My number 2 is the classic Castles of
Oh,
Burgundy.
wow.
had on
What is
my
number
list.
1? Oh, man.
I feel like my number one's obvious.
I had that as, as your number 1 for sure.
No,
I'm trying to
no,
build up
nope,
suspense.
nope.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, what about you, man? What is your number 2?
My number 2. Do you know what my number 2 is? Probably. You will once I say.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do.
You
for
do?
Sure. I think so.
Yeah.
I think I know what his number one is.
the Stefan Feld
You definitely
condom.
know what number 1
You know
is.
what number 1 is.
Yeah.
Number 1 hasn't changed.
Yeah, number 2's
Yeah,
great.
Trajan
Yeah,
is
for
my
sure.
number 2. Trajan's just fucking great.
You love that
Yeah,
game.
that's
I
a
love
good
that game.
That's a great
game.
game.
I
It is
get
good.
that Ron Kala is just so good. Everything works so smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
I know Castles of Burgundy is like a lot of times when you think Stefan Feld, you think of
I think those
Castles of Burgundy.
people
but-
think those two.
yeah. I think both of
right.
those.
I think Trajan's
Well,
it's a heavier game. I think
Didn't they come out the same year, or did maybe Castles of Burgundy was the year
just, like,
before?
either way,
It's-
pumping
It was
them
like
out.
really close.
amazing.
back to back.
Witchstone? Stefan Feld?
No.
Or we always
No,
say
Witchstone
feels
feels
like-
like
That's right.
Stefan
It feels
Feld.
like-
Witchstone isn't Witchstone designer Knizia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because someone told him to make a Stefan Feld
Yeah,
game, and he did.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sure.
and he was like, okay, here's
I
what
can do
Stefan
that.
Feld would do if
Yeah.
he made a game about witches.
Yeah, he was like parodying it.
Because
So
that
good.
feels a lot like Bonfire, which is a Stefan Feld game, and
Bonfire.
Amerigo. There's like
Yeah,
some cool
yeah.
things
Okay.
in that one. But Trajan is so
yeah,
good.
It's a good
Trajan's
game.
really good.
It's
It's
so
hard to
good.
argue with
game.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try. Number 2 for me is apropos. Number 2, Many Bones.
Oh, wow.
I played this a
now
lot
I know
on.
what the number 1 game is.
I played this a lot on
Yep.
TTS
Me too.
last year.
So
I
Solo.
didn't think Too Many Boners was going to be in your top.
You know, it's funny. So it was like number 5 or 6, I think, last year.
Yeah, I thought because I don't know. I didn't know you played it much. I
Yeah,
thought it might
so
slip out.
I
because
hadn't.
of it.
I haven't played it IRL with all the components and stuff, but I played it on stream a few times. Peter enjoyed watching it,
cool.
and so I was like, "This is gonna be fun." And I was like, "Man, this game is." I love playing
Played
this
it with
game.
Kelly.
You got the big
too.
cube, right?
Yeah, we played it with
The
Kelly
chest?
Geek Sheet Gamer as well. Yeah, I have literally everything that's ever been made
Yeah.
for it, and I always want to be playing. It's one of those games I would just love to just play. I would play it solo. I don't
Yeah.
play games solo. I enjoy playing that game by myself. It's that much fun for me. That is my number 2, Many Bones. Natalie, we have come
See, he's
to the
like
number 1
2 is
game
2.
of all time.
My number one game, and I feel
Natalie's
like it
number
was
1.
easy. I knew Bub Meeple. I didn't
With
know the
a
order.
bullet.
Yeah.
I didn't know the order of anything else. I knew my number one game, and it's Mind Management.
Wow.
I had no idea.
I honestly
Really?
didn't either.
Did you really know?
I
No,
thought that you
I
would.
didn't know.
No, I didn't know that. I thought Castles of Burgundy was going to be 1.
So did I.
The fact that Castles
When
of
you said
Burgundy
that was number
wasn't 5, 4, 3, 2, I was like,
Nope.
or 5, 4, 3, I was like,
You
all right.
said that
Mind
as number 2,
Management-
and I was like, what am I
Mind
missing?
Management is the game that I would
My God.
always be playing.
And you delayed, and I was like,
And I
Ryan
wanna-
knows. What is it?
No,
Like,
I
it's
did not.
Istanbul,
I
and it's
didn't
not
know.
Castles of
I was
Burgundy.
like
What
looking
the
around,
hell
like, what
is
am I
it?
missing? I'm missing something.
No,
obvious
I'm
here.
like,
I didn't
I
stretch back.
love
Okay,
that
I
game.
know why. Natalie shows up on one Kickstarter
Kickstarter.
page.
No, that's
And
not
now all of a
why.
sudden,
No, we
it's the greatest game you've
You
ever.
know, I love deduction. It's just like, I don't know. It's so fun playing that game, and I just want to keep playing it and explore more of like the
Yeah, the boxes.
You have a lot of
boxes
boxes
and
to
stuff.
still
We haven't opened them. We've
Yeah.
only opened a couple.
yeah.
I would play that game. We should play that game.
And it's not one
great.
We'll be right back.
like where like it's also like when you and me play, it's like I feel like it's pretty even as far as like I win, you win. You know, it's not like you always win every time.
or at least it feels like scary enough.
yeah.
when you're-
that
Chance or-
tenseness.
Yeah, like it's not like, okay, you're just so much better at this role
Like,
than I
yeah,
am.
let's
so
play
it's like,
Right.
Polygonal. Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Let's play chess, right? It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah, it's not like,
cool, I
okay,
guess
well,
Ryan will
I'm just
win.
going to lose now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you have to play down.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something
It's
like
nothing
that.
like that. It's like, I feel like it's hard for both of us.
Right.
Jeff, what about you,
Hell,
man?
you have some shockers.
Yeah, that was
Really?
like
like
shocking.
top 10. You surprised me. Like Decorum in your top 10.
Yeah.
Man, we were like played the crap out
We
of that
did.
game.
We played that like
Mind
30
management
times.
at 1. If you would have said like Mind Management 8, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, me too. I think I'd have understood that. I'm surprised. But you
Damn.
said you knew that immediately. Like, that's
Yeah.
my number
Like, you
one.
didn't even have
That's
to
the
fill out
only
the
game
pub
that I
people.
was like, I know this.
That is crazy cool.
Damn.
Crazy, sexy cool. Jeff. Number one for you. We all know what it is, but say it anyway.
It's Underwater City.
Underwater City, which showed up on Natalie's
Game
top
is
5 as
so
well.
Number 5.
Damn good.
It's so good.
It's so good. And that's why also I think I like Ark Nova a ton. Those games remind me of each other. I'm happy to play either of them.
Well, you even
anytime.
like Terraforming Mars. That for a while,
Yeah,
that was
Terraforming
like
Mars.
1-2.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it was. That's
high up for
Terraforming
you.
Mars has sort of slipped
Descended.
because of when I think about games that I want to play in that realm. It's like it's Underwater Cities and Ark Nova all the time.
Yeah.
The expansion for Underwater Cities is good.
Yeah.
It helps with the dual
Dual
layer
layer
boards
player
because if you get
boards.
dual layer player, you should.
I would do it.
Really should
If you
get that.
can, I think you should.
And man, it's just I would just play it anytime. I would just leave it set up and just play it
Yeah.
over and over and over again. It's like cities that are underwater.
It's just something about it is magical.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really cool. The fact that it's almost like it doesn't feel like a super high quality production. You know what I mean? Those domes. It's like you've never seen a component like those domes,
Right, and
before.
it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so it almost feels like you're like in the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a little game that I'm kind of, even though it's like
Yeah.
Vladimir Sushi and everything. It's like,
I know that everybody
the-
is like opinions are different or whatever,
What?
but like
we all have the same opinion.
but like okay, I think about like Brass is number 1, right? Then there's a game like Underwater Cities where I feel like
It's so
like,
much better.
so much better in every single way.
I know.
Like just like how it looks, the gameplay, like the mechanics.
some people think
it's
Underwater
not,
Cities is
it's not
ugly.
dull.
Like
Yeah.
really.
You know?
I get that. I get maybe you think it's ugly. The components aren't good. Even if you don't like,
The components aren't good. Brass is like the most like
basic components.
if you like
Yeah.
Brass more than Underwater Cities, I understand because they're a different kind of game. I don't understand how Terraforming Mars is higher than Underwater Cities. To me,
people love.
I know they
when that
love
game
it.
came out. So it came out first, and it took the
Oh, it
industry.
blew the fuck.
Oh,
up.
yeah, it was like,
and
what
I didn't play it
is
for a long
this?
time, and when I played it, I was like, "This
Yeah,
game
it's
is
amazing.
great," and I
Right.
agree that it's great. It's number 18. On
Yeah.
the list, so it slipped. But everything I think that that Terraforming Mars did wrong with like giant card stack of cards, like Underwater Cities fixed and just did better. And I was like, "This is
right.
just better."
Get new
Yeah.
cards when it
Yeah, every era it changes
Yeah.
and they shift with the game, and it's just better. Anyway, number 1 Underwater Cities.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Number 1 for me is a game I played for the first time last year.
man.
Oh, boy.
I only
You
want to
got
play
it.
this. It sucks because nobody wants to play it with me.
Ben does, Kevin does.
Ben and Kevin and
Dave does.
and Dave would play it, and it's Maria. A war game. A fucking talk about dry themes. The Industrial Revolution. Maria is as dry of a
Talk
theme
about
as it
Ryan's
gets.
dislikes in board games.
And there it is. And
there it is, number one.
I guess put all my dislikes in a one game,
And it becomes
just
his favorite
becomes
game.
my
Favorite
favorite
game of
thing of
all
all time. Hey, I can't explain it either or defend it. All I know is I love it so much. I made a how to play video on YouTube you can watch. There's 2 parts on it, and it's actually gotten some traction, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, some guy from like Japan called it the greatest how-to video
Yeah,
he's ever
some
seen.
people had some really nice
Holy
comments
Japan.
on it.
No, I don't know if it was Japan, but it was a
Maybe-
bunch of Oriental
I hope
letters.
he sends me Nena.
Yeah, you can get Nana from him. No,
Yeah.
Natalie already offered Plurpy up to buy it for
No,
us.
I didn't.
Thank you,
She
Natalie.
said definitely it will happen.
Man, yeah, Maria. I knew Maria was gonna be on our list. I was again waiting.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was surprised that it because you do Pub Meeple.
Right. Well,
And
once,
then it,
once
like,
you
showed up
hit
and I was
that
like,
one,
oh, fuck, it's Maria.
Like once that one beats out like Star Wars Destiny, you're like, well, that's gonna be
Yeah.
because that one, like your number 1 game, my management, you just hit left or right wherever that one was,
Yeah.
no matter
Yep.
what.
Every
It was
time.
Yeah,
up
because I
against.
want to
So
play
you
that more than
know-
anything.
And then the other ones are kind of more of a surprise.
Right.
Do you want to do anything that like just missed the list? I have a few that just missed.
Do you? I have to pull it up. I only have
Like
my top 10
11
written
through-
down.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first.
I
really
have
quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
through 20.
Yeah, I have through 20 also. So you want to do that really quick?
Go ahead. Yeah,
My
let me
number
see if I can
11
pull it
was
up.
Carnegie.
Okay.
My number 12 was Coimbra.
Oh,
My number 13 is Zolkin. Number 14 is Kalimala.
wow.
15
Kalimala's that high.
God, the last couple plays have been so good.
That's great.
Number 15 is Tilatum. I fucking love that game.
Really?
Yeah. 16 is Red Cathedral, which I've been like drooling over every play. 5 Tribes is number 17. 18 is Terraforming Mars. 19 is Guild of Merchant Explorers. And 20 is Istanbul.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I have mine too. Go ahead, Natalie. You're going through 20?
And I would play any
yep.
of those any second of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My
That's
number
crazy
11
good.
is The Crew.
Hello, crew.
Great game.
My number 12 is Hadrian's Wall.
Nice.
Okay.
13, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Okay.
Very nice.
14, Planet Unknown. 15, Obsession. 16, Order Overload Cafe.
Oh my
That game's so fucking great.
Yeah.
Number 17, Wonderland's War.
Okay.
18, Terra Mystica. 19, Hadara. And 20,
Wow.
Paint the Roses.
You do love Hadara. Wow.
There's
Paint
a lot
the
of like,
Roses.
even some crossovers in like top 10s.
I remember when I did this list, I didn't go through for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Right.
I went through
Oh,
my
yeah.
collection and I was like, okay, this game
Same.
has a chance.
I had like 40
and
games.
One game I forgot to even put on the list was Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
And
that
so
would-
it would
might
not be in the top 10.
but
It would
be in
probably
the-
be somewhere in this next
Sure, I
chunk,
get that.
maybe. But so that's a caveat. Here we go. Number
Yeah.
11 for me that just missed top 10, Alien Frontiers.
That
I
used to be a top
love
that
five
that
game.
game. That was in the top 10 for a
Yeah.
long time. Number 12, Lords of Vegas.
So fun.
Number 13, Planet Unknown.
Yep.
Number 14, another favorite of mine, Belfort.
Yeah.
Number 15, Codenames Duet. We talked about how
That was
great
my
that game is.
21.
Number 16, Mind Management.
Nice.
Number 17, Chess. Fucking love chess. Number 18, the great 2-player game. Actually, this is what I would maybe answer for the 2-player game if we were ever to play this. Claustrophobia.
I know. I was surprised
yeah.
you didn't say that.
Yeah,
That used to be a top 5.
That was
You
like
loved
that
it
was number
for a
1 for a
while.
while.
Yeah, you
that game.
loved
God,
that
that
game.
game is so good. Number 19, Obsession,
Okay.
and number 20, Caverna, which was also Caverna was a
yeah,
top 10
you were,
staple
like,
for a
obsessed
long
with that
time.
for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta play that again.
Yep. I could
Good
actually go to
games.
20.
Good games
I could
in
even go
those
further
top
than this.
60
Castle Burgundy,
between of us.
22.
Man, poor Castleberg.
It beat out Grand Austria Hotel, 23.
Grand Austria Hotel is high on my list too. I did
such
what
a
you
good
did actually. Like after we did our 10 through 6.
Yeah.
I did Pub Meeple where I picked 100.
Yeah.
Sort of. I went through
Yep.
and I was like, these games could be in the
Yeah,
top 100.
these have a chance of
I had
making
about
the-
105, and I think from there I'll kind of move it.
Yeah, I like the
Endless
way-
Winter would end up being that's going to be somewhere.
That's going to be
in the
on
top
there. I like
20,
the
30.
I like the way that I
Shortening
did it this
that.
time because it's like
There's a bunch of games you
it
know
gets
are
out
not going to
after
be
it gets
up there.
beyond 30, it's like
Who cares?
Yeah, like do I
What order
does it
it's
do
in.
anything for me to know that?
Right.
To know what game is
They're all
78
kind of like
versus 86.
similar.
Yeah.
You know, but top 30 seems like a pretty good
Yeah, it's
right,
big.
reasonable thing. So that is our top 5 game, top 10 game, top 20 game
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
all
Now you know them all.
time. You've been dying for this.
we
We've been
will-
getting so much
In
email
a year and a half,
about
we'll
our
come
top
back to it.
games.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten
No,
one email.
nobody
since I've
sends us
said
emails.
before.
www.gamecasters@gmail.com.
There's no www in an email.
Got you,
Got scared you. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/store. Please follow me and consider subscribing on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamecasters. So for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.